WWE Hall of Famer, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Tito Santana.
This is Kurt Angle.
This is Bret the Hitman Hart, and this is going out to Scott and Holly.
You are listening to the
Win Twice Wrestling Podcast
with Scott and Holly.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
And this holds for everybody. Ho!
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to listen to the incomparable Win Twice Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Scott and Holly. We always go over, brother, and that's the bottom line. Dig it? So sit back, relax, and prepare to be entertained.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Win Twice Wrestling Podcast and episode number 55 to be specific,
Ooh.
Holly. It has been a while.
A little bit.
Out of practice?
Yes.
We had I want to say an unintentional break, but we did have the daily content going up for the 12 days of WrestleMania. So it wasn't like we've fully been away, but we only did 2 recording sessions in the whole of December.
I know.
Even though we had 13, 14 episodes go up in that period.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, got to knock off some of these cobwebs, so to speak.
We just, yeah.
And speaking of knocking oneself silly, Holly, what did you do this morning?
I'm so clumsy. Stop it. I may or may not have fallen face first on my bathroom floor.
So my question was, you hungover?
No.
My next question was...
I wish I was.
How?
I'm so clumsy. I just caught my own feet.
So I didn't actually...
Hands up, as in hands up doing the hair.
Yes.
Looking in the mirror, turned around, caught one foot behind the other, bosh, down we
So
go.
you were fully pirouetting, one
Absolutely.
foot behind the other? That's...
Absolutely. I'm a clumsy girl.
As a man who hasn't had to tie his hair up for a few years now, I've never pirouetted when I was doing it. So maybe I've obviously got the technique down wrong. But
All right. I mean, honestly, to be fair, I'm lucky to have come away with the only injury I've got, I think.
And I didn't spot it.
No, you didn't.
Because when you
Thank God.
messaged me, my first thought was odd items of clothing. So you might have had odd socks, but I thought you would have changed that. You would have just committed to it. And then when I mentioned it to Em, she went, maybe she's wearing something inside out. And I said, again, she would correct that. So I was like, I think spill. I think you've had something and spilt it.
Again, we know I do that a lot. So
that was what my money was on. Then when I couldn't see any obvious spillage...
Just smacked me fair on floor.
Yeah, funny enough, we were talking about how my mum managed to do that a few weeks ago. And I was like, how'd you fall over in that situation? And Holly's like, I'll raise that.
Honestly, I'm so freaking clumsy. So yeah.
But,
and didn't put the hands down. Hands still stayed
on your hair.
Up in the hair.
Did they
Thankfully, it was just my mouth that bounced off my tile floor. No teeth. Honestly, I was so scared about my teeth. And
the teeth, I can confirm, are still in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be an interesting day when I saw that you dipped into an orange Lucozade, seeing as
needs must.
That was something that you said, I haven't had one of these for years. And has the love been rekindled?
A little bit. It could do with a bit more sugar, I'll be honest.
I think they changed the recipe, though, to be fair, didn't they? Well, anyway, other energy drinks are available. That's not what we're here for today.
Just in case I sound a bit funny, it's because I got a fat lip.
I think... I don't know. I don't know if you sound a bit funny. It's been a while since we've spoken, I guess. Oh, no, you got a compliment on your voice the other day from one of the lovely comment makers on YouTube. Comment makers. We could have said commenters, but no, we'll go with comment makers. But Holly, why are we here today?
I don't know.
Why is anyone here today? Specifically, what are we covering off?
Oh, you're actually asking me. I thought you were.
I'll do it if you want.
I thought you were segueing into what we were doing.
Well, I am, but I was asking
we watched a wrestling.
We watched a wrestling thing. We did. We watched.
Shut your mouth.
So this was the lovely last episode that we used the network for, because now the network in the UK has gone bye-byes, which I've got some. Well, I've got many issues with, to be fair, mainly because a lot of the content that I wanted to cover off fairly soon is now no longer there. So I wanted to eventually do something with the Starcades, like we're doing with WrestleMania. Yeah. But obviously WCW and ECW content haven't made their way across to Netflix. So hopefully that either does soon, or it gets loaded onto the WWE Vault YouTube channel and we can do it. I don't necessarily want to find a hooky way of watching it, but... You know, if needs must, I'll try all the legal methods first. But there's enough out there that we can...
dodgy VPN and you're in.
Well, to be fair, that was something, but that would require both of us having that because I wouldn't be able to share it because your system would also need to be recognised as being over there. So either way, there's enough stuff for us to work around in the meantime. So it wasn't an intentional thought of, what would we pick as the last show from the network. Ironically, this is one of the shows that has made it over onto Netflix, because I
Right.
checked out of interest to see if it was there. Because you were ill towards the end of the year after we went and saw a Progress show. And I felt like I had a pre-hangover on the train as we were heading home, because I was leaning back just trying to choke down a sandwich which I didn't want.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt fine the next day. And then I spoke to you and you're like, yeah, I've been curled up on the floor being sick.
I was poorly. But that wasn't a hangover. I genuinely thought I was dying.
Can I tell you what I think it is? Because I've noticed a theme with these things.
Go for
Alcohol and seafood for you do not go.
I need to not eat
Seriously.
things after I've had a bevy.
But it seems to be, honestly, because you
I
had...
make poor choices.
Well...
In my head, I should just be like, oh, I'm hungry, let's have a mac and cheese. Instead, I go, ooh, let's be fancy and have something else.
let's have some prawns, eh?
Yeah.
I can only assume it was that, because we literally had the same stuff throughout the day.
Yeah.
The only difference was I had an egg and you didn't. With the breakfast. Oh, it was a lovely egg, actually. Lovely. It was a lovely runny yolk.
My egg eater wasn't there, so absolutely not.
Brilliant. My egg eater wasn't there. Now there's a shirt. There's a shirt ready to be made there. But no, we picked WWE No Way Out 2004, and it's a show that I picked.
Correct.
Specifically because, well, there's something in there that I wanted you to see firsthand.
I know you said this to me, and the whole time I was trying to work out what on earth it was.
And are you any the wiser now as to what it was?
I really... There's one thing I saw that I was like, okay. But I don't think that's why you chose it for me.
No. So I picked this show entirely because I wanted you to see the main event. I know you've seen the after scenes of who wins and how they celebrate, but you've never seen the match that won that person the title.
Oh, I see.
Which, for me, is one of the all-time wrestling moments as a fan, just because of how much everyone was behind this person. You don't get that stuff that often, not to that level. And I felt like it was a big moment, and I wanted you to be able to see it firsthand.
Yeah, that's definitely not what I thought you meant.
No, so when we get there, shout out what you thought I was referring to. But I had this show many years ago on DVD, and I probably still have the case somewhere.
Yeah.
The case, not the disc.
Oh, okay.
Because,
it's one of those, right?
Yeah, and I'm very particular about always putting the disc back in the same case. I'm not one of these laissez-faire people that goes any slot will do, so to speak.
God.
No, you know what I meant for DVDs. Okay, calm down.
It's been a while.
Not since my 20s. And I think when I must have been about 15. I remember one of the Christmas presents I got, or you sometimes get a main present. I got a personal portable DVD player, and I think I don't know where that is, but I'm pretty sure that disc is in there because I remember watching it on that, even though I was at home at the time, so I could have watched it on a. But
that's not the point.
No, it's not.
No.
But I think that's where the disc is.
Okay, fair enough.
So I haven't seen this show for a number of years.
Okay.
I remember the main event, and it's surprising. I've done a Holly. It's surprising how little of the rest of the show I remembered.
Can we not call it that?
Why not? Is it not accurate?
Because I remember nothing.
Do you remember most of this show until we go through the notes?
I don't think I've ever seen this.
Well, to be fair, there's some of the stuff in the show that I could have done without seeing again.
Yeah.
Because you started rattling off as you were going through it initially, the things you thought I might have wanted you to see,
Yes,
and I was
you
like,
did.
no, not that.
Yeah.
But I hadn't started watching it yet, so when you were rattling them off, I was like,
remember.
I was like, what the hell was the blindfold match? And then we get there.
Yes.
But yeah, so this show had a lot of sentimental value for me. When I was talking to Jamie, our editor, about what we were going to do, I mentioned this show, and he said, oh, okay, and he knew exactly why I picked it, and he said the same as me, an all-time wrestling moment.
Oh, so it literally was just me going,
Yes.
why on earth are we watching this?
I thought after the show you might have gone, oh, okay, but you're like, no, why the fuck have we chosen this one? But that's why it's got that value to me. So
Fair.
I assume we've touched around it a little bit. So like I said, the main ticket item was Eddie Guerrero against Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
I assume, and I think it's safe to say, because I don't remember most of it, is that the rest of the show was brand new to you.
Oh, of course.
I assume you've seen the celebration scenes after the main event at some point in a snippet or a highlight package. Okay, but I assume you probably haven't seen the match.
No.
Okay, so this was, for all intents and purposes, a brand new show for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being the case, let's go into the show opening.
That's...
As the pay-per-view begins, we waste no time with meaningless introductions and platitudes as the Titantron roars into life. Or no, it just roars, in fact, because out comes Sable. In fact, Holly, it isn't just Sable that makes her way to the ring. We also get the ever-so-lovely Tori Wilson too.
Yep.
As Cole says on commentary, oh my.
Were you happy, were you?
I never was a Sable fan.
Okay.
She never... I didn't...
But Tori Wilson.
Tori Wilson's
Absolutely.
lovely, yeah, we'll leave that. But one thing that struck me immediately was I forgot this. It was a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. So this was with the brand split being... it's not relatively fresh because it was split in 2002. So you had Raw and SmackDown, their own rosters. I think they'd probably done a couple of shake-ups in between that time to move people from one show to the other. But there were still pay-per-view events that just had SmackDown stars on it, and other shows that had Raw on it, and then they'd combine for the big four. I think I've probably actually mentioned that a little bit later on, which is good and bad. The bad being that it doesn't necessarily have the star power of both shows combined because they've got to split their talent up. You can't have all the top talent on one show and the lesser talent on another, but it also then presents opportunities for people that might otherwise not have got on pay-per-view to get on pay-per-view.
Some of them should have stayed off.
And that was going to be my follow-up point. I think you've literally taken a joke out of my wording later on. No, it's fine. If you beat me to the punch, I know it was a good joke. So you may not have known this, Holly, but as Cole goes on to inform, this was the same month that the two divas appeared together in the pages of Playboy. Needless to say, this was a very exciting time in the Scott household. Internet was very, very much up and running at that point. You have to do your research. You know, did I do research again? Who knows? No, I didn't. I didn't.
That's a shame.
But no, still rent-free.
Fresh.
Rent-free up there.
I see.
Yeah, I remember this
why
being
not?
a thing. It was for a few years in the WWE. It was always, which diva's next going to whop her tits out?
Isn't it funny how that back then, and I know all this time's changing rubbish, but back then
We're about to get political.
It's advertising. We're both in Playboy. Multiple people did it. It was fine. Now, what's her name? Mandy Rose, whatever her name is, gets sacked for doing OnlyFans, and she's not getting her waps out completely. There might as well, but I mean,
I haven't seen.
It's different, isn't it? Like, it's bizarre to me.
It's all cyclical though, so I'm sure there'll be some sort of thing in the future where it's seen as empowerment. Because I mean, to be fair, I guess it is now to a certain point.
If it's your choice to do it, why not?
Well, exactly.
It's not like you're being forced to do it.
Well, I'd like to think that the divas that were going into Playboy at the time weren't forced into doing it, but it was always going to be the same type of people. I mean, let's be fair, we all know who I would have liked to have signed up for that role back in that era, but I respect the fact that they never did.
Trish?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Lita never did, of course.
No.
But so people at the time like Ashley Massaro, rest in peace. Christy Hemme did it as well, the red hair who won one of the
probably if I saw
Diva Search things. I think she did anyway. You had Chyna, you had Sable and Tori. I think Tori might have done one by herself as well. I don't know. The only other one, but I don't think necessarily they did it for Playboy, but I remember seeing pictures at the time, was Maurice. She's post.
Stunning.
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. And it's quite kind of nice that she's with the Miz, because I wouldn't consider the Miz to be. He's not an ugly guy, but he's not an overly handsome guy either.
Okay.
And they actually seem very well suited. Not that I've seen Miz and Mrs. or whatever. I know you
I
have. But they seem like actually a well-suited couple, to be fair. And she's more down to earth. Either that or she's putting up a very good show.
Yeah.
But she seems more down to earth than I ever would have given her credit for. So you can't always judge a book by the cover, Scott. The bad thing about this being a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view, other than some of the people on the card, is the fact that it's Michael Cole and Taz on commentary all night.
Right.
Michael Cole, I'm okay with. Taz, do you know what? I didn't used to mind. But the more I see Taz on commentary or hear him on commentary, the more he does things that wind me up.
He does me a favour this whole entire show.
Because he calls
the moves exactly what they are.
Which I'm fine with, which is why I liked it back then. But it's like those phrases, and I've mentioned it before, the not for nothing.
Oh, right.
Okay. It's a very New York like thing to say, but I don't know. It's the little terminologies that he uses that annoys me. And he says, I'm sure he says something really questionable in this show as well, but I don't remember if I wrote it down. So you may have also picked up that Taz referenced the fact this was a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. He's very quick to reference what things are exclusive to SmackDown, but I'm assuming those lines are being fed to him for what to say. So I don't know if you recall this, but after the initial brand extension in 2002, Raw and SmackDown had their own exclusive pay-per-views and would merge for the big 4 pay-per-views of the year, those being Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam and Survivor Series. And then I said I've actually quite liked the approach as it gave more opportunities for people that otherwise wouldn't make it onto pay-per-view cards. However, some of what they did let on pay-per-view cards still left a lot to be desired, which is the joke you took, which is fine.
Sorry.
Absolutely fine. The dual magazine covers are flashed on the screen, and Taz unashamedly informs us that he's been looking at the magazines all day. Cool.
He just stuck together.
Well, yeah. I mean, at that point, you must be puffing dust all day.
All day.
All day.
Gosh.
Chafing.
Go for days.
Oh, well, I'll be honest. I don't think Taz can go for days. Just putting that out there. I'm not saying I can, but I'm just saying I don't think Taz can either.
Okay.
Both Tori and Sable are wearing classy black dresses, and when they enter the ring, they both grab a microphone. They are. They're like kind of
Classy.
evening gown. Well, they're kind of classy, aren't they? They're not like overly.
They're not super, super short.
Yeah.
But,
They're not classy.
but this made me sad as soon as I saw them get a microphone. I was like, oh no.
Well, Tori's not exactly known for being a good talker, but Sable, oh my god.
This is what I said to you, I think, is that what bothers... I mean, I'm a hideous speaker. Like, give me a microphone and absolutely not. I just couldn't do it.
When I say 0-1, you say 2-1, no?
No.
Ah.
But why do people have a microphone and shout? The whole point of a microphone is so that people can hear you.
It's because they're not comfortable doing it.
Why? Like in Sable's voice, she shouts into a microphone, but it's not like a proper shout. It's like a... Oh, it just annoys me.
It's a screech. But also, the entire time, her face is dead.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's not just because of, the stuff that she's had put in there. There's no emotion behind anything she says. And the only way I can describe the way Sable talks, and I've thought this the whole time, because I'm pretty sure we discussed it in one of the WrestleManias where she talks about, are you ready for the grind?
Yes.
Like, no. She hits notes that feel like an itch in your brain that you cannot get to.
That only dogs can hear.
Like, no, I can hear it, and I'm frustrated by it, but I can't get to it to make it stop.
Yeah, she's got a very bizarre tone.
Yeah,
If you know what I mean, I can't talk because I've got a horrendous voice. But
well, you don't.
But there's something about her voice that just irks me.
The next line I've got here.
Oh, I wonder if it's the same as me.
She might look the part, but good God, Sable's shrill voice will always be an irritant to me.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
so assumingly that's not what you had written down.
No.
But Sable says hello to San Francisco and informs the crowd that she and Tori have been enjoying the sights of the city, and now it is time for the city to enjoy the sight of them.
Yep.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Not a bad line.
Yeah.
Not a bad line. Tori states that the SmackDown stars will deliver a night of action and excitement.
I bet they will.
Apparently, there is nothing that they will not do to entertain.
Shocking.
If that was too subtle, Sable reiterates that there is nothing she and Tori will not do either. So take it up the arse, I assume, is what she means by that.
Oh
What does she mean, though?
God.
What can they possibly be insinuating?
Honestly, don't know.
They must be talking about that at the Jaxie. Honestly, right? And then we get welcome to No Way Out.
Yeah.
Yay! We now head to ringside where Taz is waving at the two ladies whilst Cole introduces us to the show. The Spanish announce team are introduced, and a big happy birthday to Hugo Savinovich. So,
It's not the only time we get a real in-depth look at this Spanish
Oh
announcers.
yeah. At least it wasn't. Was it during someone's entrance? Probably. They love doing that, but I don't remember. We'll find out as we go through the notes.
I've got it written down for sure.
So we don't go into a match just yet. It was also a bit of a weird opening in general because they didn't have straight away the opening video, fireworks. It was like they had a bit before the start.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
No, it felt unnatural.
Have a big start and then have them come out. Like, to me, it was a bit of a anticlimax.
It was also a 2.5 hour show, which I was expecting 3 hours. So I was pleased on one hand and confused on the other because I didn't think that was quite enough content. But it worked out. It was fine because they managed to pack enough in there, I'll tell you that. As we see Sable and Tori head back up the aisle, the camera fades out and we are shown a promo package for the next big thing. Woohoo. Future husband of Sable and the current WWE champion, Brock Lesnar. I was going to do the Paul Heyman, changed my mind, can't lose my voice this early. The clip transitions into Brock taking light of his main event match tonight with Eddie and looking ahead towards Goldberg, who was gifted a front row seat to the event by Stone Cold. We will get to Goldberg later, Holly. Do not worry. Eddie appears on screen and we're shown footage of Chavo turning on him and laying him out with a right hand. Eddie used to fight for his family, then he fought against them, now he fights for himself, is what he tells us.
Yeah.
Brock, and I've got his quote here, "It's such a shame, Eddie, that you have come this far and conquered all of your demons, only to be defeated by the biggest demon of them all." Ooh. I like that. Ooh. He's got another line later, but that was a great line. Lesnar says that he has beaten legends, icons, phenoms, and that Eddie is nothing. That's a phrase that comes along a lot in the main event. Guerrero points out that Brock seems a bit preoccupied and lacks focus. The package picks up in pace and intensity as the two men have a brawl, and we see both champion and challenger with the title belt before it draws to a close. A graphic of a small jail cell with chains wrapping around the bars appears as cockroaches flee from the room. The No Way Out logo appears in the middle of the cell block in a bronze and gold hue. The O, in this case, has been replaced with a padlock.
Yep.
Bit of mise-en-scène, very nice. Back in the arena, and we get the customary fireworks and the voice of Michael Cole once more welcoming us to the Cow Palace and No Way Out. I have just realised I have told you nothing about this show in terms of where it was, when it was, or anything like that.
San Francisco.
It was, and it took place on the 15th of February 2004. The Cow Palace in San Francisco, California. The attendance was 11,000, and the pay-per-view buy rate was 350,000. Have you heard of the Cow Palace before, Holly?
No.
So the Cow Palace was actually a big wrestling building for the San Francisco area. I think Roy Shire was the guy that used to do the booking for the area. And one of the biggest stars that he had, Pat Patterson.
Right.
So obviously there's ties there with Pat Patterson doing road agent work for the WWE, which he would have been doing periodically at this time. I think he'd stepped away from doing it full time, but he would still turn up and help out here and there because he just loved it so much. But yeah, Pat Patterson was one of the big stars of the area, and they always used to do, I think they actually mention it on the show, they'd do like an annual battle royale, which was a big thing. Andre the Giant would often be involved, and if Andre the Giant's in a battle royal, he's going to win the damn thing, to be fair.
Yeah.
We go into match number 1.
Yeah.
Okay? Brace yourself, because I was sad and then happy with this match.
I started off like, huh? It gave me the feels.
The match, and I've got a bit confused here, so I'll clarify later on. We've got the Basham brothers with Shaniqua, I've put here, versus Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty for the WWE Tag Team titles.
Yes.
Holly, do you remember the Basham brothers?
No.
Do you recognise either of them?
No, and I know I should. And my first note says, "Who are they?" And then my second note goes, "I know I should know."
Don't worry, I've got you covered on the second point here. How happy were you though to see Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty?
Very.
Scotty 2 Hotty not with a hat though.
I didn't care. I'll be honest, I don't care.
And a wife beater. I don't know. It feels like.
Yeah, I know, but he still gives.
No offence, but it feels like Timu Scotty 2 Hotty to me.
Fair.
Like
Fair
it's
enough.
just it's not the I'm always happy to see Scotty 2
honest.
Hotty,
Yeah.
but this didn't quite feel right to me. And something I also meant to ask with the main event, because that's the only match that's really given away.
Yes.
At the beginning of the show, so you would have been happy with that.
Yep.
What did you think about the prospects of watching Eddie Guerrero and Brock Lesnar in terms of that matchup?
You see,
because Eddie's not a big guy.
No, and obviously I don't remember anything, and in my head I just thought it's going to be a squash match because it's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So obviously when we get there, we'll talk about it, but I just didn't really think much of it.
Okay, that's good.
I wasn't like, oh, amazing, it's going to be really good. I was just a bit like, Brock fucking Lesnar, like, come on.
And I will say the combination works much better than it has any right to, I think.
Yes.
I think so. Anyway, we're jumping ahead, but I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Okay.
So back to this match. As we see the imposing Shaniqua lead the Basham brothers to the ring, we're shown footage of the rivalry between the Bashams and the WWE Tag Team Champions, including the challengers blindsiding the champions from behind, and Shaniqua laying out Scotty with a massive clothesline.
Yep.
That was hefty.
Yep.
Holly, do you recognise Doug Basham? He's one of the lead trainers down in OVW and featured in the Netflix series we both watched.
Oh,
Al Snow's right-hand man, the bald guy.
Stop it, is that him?
That's him. Yeah.
Stop.
So the one with the less rounded face.
Yeah.
That's how I always had to distinguish the Bashams.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. That's who that is.
Thank you.
But
I
none
won't
of that
remember
matters.
but thank you.
None of it matters. As we hear the music to welcome the tag team champions to the ring, and I am very happy.
Yeah.
The bell sounds, and we see Scotty 2 Hotty and Danny start this one off. Oh. You put Basham, didn't you?
Of course I did.
Of course you did. Was it Basham 1 and Basham 2, or just Basham?
Just Basham.
Just Basham. Brilliant. Scotty is bouncing on his toes as they circle before they finally lock up. Even battle until Scotty slaps on a side headlock, and I only now realise that Shaniqua is in this match as well. Mm-hmm. It's a 2-on-3 match for the tag team titles.
Exactly.
Cole raises the point, if Shaniqua gets the pin, who is she a tag team champion alongside? Or does it just go to the men?
Fair point.
Good point, Michael Cole.
That.
That's Bobby Heenan level investigative journalism right there. Danny refuses to give a clean break as he drives a knee to the gut and connects with an elbow to the back of the head. He looks to toss Scotty over the ropes, but he holds on, skins the cat, and begins popping and locking before blocking a right hand and delivering one of his own.
Brilliant.
Chops and right hands connect until a whip is reversed, and Scotty spikes Danny headfirst into the canvas off a satellite head scissors. That was not the cleanest move I've ever seen.
Well, no, but, you know.
I never cared for the Basham brothers. Like, I'm just putting it out there. They were... as far as what I understand, because I didn't see much of them before they made it to the main roster, they were showing promise, and I think they actually worked against each other, and they just went, hey, we can cut your hair, and you both kind of will then be bald, because they don't really look alike. No. They're just bald, muscular guys. Go, you'll be brothers.
Sure.
Imagine the one who wasn't a Basham, who then had to pretend he was a Basham, so he's basically taking the other guy's gimmick as well.
Yeah.
Just, not great. Not great. Anyway, tag to the big man, who lands a right hand but takes a thumb to the eye. Doug is now the legal man, but he runs into a clothesline that levels him. Rikishi ducks too early off a whip, and Doug looks for a sunset flip. Quiche does not move an inch and begins slapping his cheeks, causing the challenger to rush off. When he charges back, he runs right into a hip toss. Wristlock from Rikishi, but Doug tries to fire his way free, which he does. He blocks the hip toss attempt from the hip toss attempt from the champion, but then idiotically looks for one of his own, which is easily blocked, and he is again levelled with a clothesline.
Stupid.
Danny now runs in and is met with one of his own. As the Bashams roll out of the ring, Quiche grabs Shaniqua and tosses her over the top rope into the ring, and the crowd enjoyed that very much. Mm-hmm. Thankfully for Shaniqua, she manages to avoid the stink face, and Doug Basham returns to save the day and eats her right hand. Shaniqua tries to capitalise with a clothesline from behind, but big boy Quiche isn't playing that, and she runs off. Doug fires off a couple of strikes, but makes the cardinal wrestling sin of headbutting a Samoan.
Oh.
You don't do that.
Naughty.
No. Who would win in a headbutt match, a Samoan or the Junkyard Dog?
Oh, God. I don't need to see those. I don't need to see those again.
Who would win, though?
Not JY.
Okay, fine.
JYD.
So Samoan head beats Junkyard Dog head. Good to know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doug fires off. That is an image you don't need.
No thanks.
That is a real... Especially when he's going... Oh, dear. Doug fires off a couple of strikes and makes the cut. No, we've done that. He's swinging at the air and eats a body slam from Rikishi. Get them cakes indeed, JYD. Get them cakes.
Jesus.
Tag to Scotty, who runs in but misses a clothesline and finds a side headlock applied to him. Push off and drop down results in both men colliding heads, which is something that I see a lot in wrestling shows as of late, it seems. And they're both lying on the canvas. Referee Nick Patrick begins his count. At the count of 7, Scotty kips up and looks down at the prone Doug before looking around to the crowd. Mm-hmm. Are we going to see it?
I hoped so.
W-O-R clothesline from the apron from Shaniqua, which was nicely timed, and the crowd are livid.
Yeah.
I actually like that moment.
It was
good,
actually,
well done.
But I was also livid.
Because when he got to the R, and I was like, no one's there, and then you see her just come out of nowhere, it works. Doug goes to make the cover, but misses the... No. Ooh. Doug goes to cover... No, let's start that again. Ooh. Doug goes to make the cover, but misses that Scotty landed with his leg on the middle rope, so the official just stares at him like he's a fucktard. Okay. Tag to Danny, and the Bashams hit a double slingshot suplex for a count of 2. Back first to the buckles goes Scotty, and a clubbing forearm follows. Shaniqua is now the legal participant, and she kicks Scotty in the ribs before easily scooping him up and delivering a body slam. Impressive. Okay. The crowd are continually, and I do mean continually, booing the shit out of her.
Yes.
Shaniqua taunts Rikishi before trying to bring Scotty back to his feet. As she does, Scotty begins choking her until she smacks the shit out of his spine. It's literally a two-handed, I'm going to kill you. And she's like, and I was like, oh, this is a bit domestic abusey, isn't it? Tag to Danny, who delivers a body slam and gets a 2 count off the following pin. Scotty tries to seize the separation and scrambles for a tag, but Danny pounces on him before dragging him away. Scotty continues to try and comes very close until Doug rushes in and knocks him down before heading back to the apron. Doug gets the tag and stamps away until Scotty fires back. Off the ropes goes the champion, but he runs into a sleeper hold attempt that he manages to escape with a chin breaker. Good. When does a chin breaker become a jawbreaker?
I don't know.
I feel like if it hits them there, chin breaker. If their heads turn, jawbreaker. I don't know. Should we make? Are we happy to make that distinction now?
Yeah,
good. Remember that.
I'm definitely going to remember.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
What's that position called, Holly? It'll be one of those ones that I'll throw in there and you'll go,
Rude, but true.
yeah, harsh but fair. Doug gets the tag and stamps away until Scotty fires back. Off the ropes goes the champion, but he runs into a sleep hold chin breaker. We've done that. Doug falls into the ropes and Shaniqua makes the tag. She sets Scotty up and signals like Razor Ramon as if going for a razor's edge, but is lifted up and hit with a back body drop. Rikishi with the tag and Shaniqua looks concerned. Both Bashams enter the ring only to be knocked down by Quiche in turn with right hands, a super kick and a DDT for good measure. With his back turned, Shaniqua jumps into a sleeper, but Rikishi grabs her by the hair and snaps her down to the canvas hard. That did not look fun.
I mean, no.
The big man looks to drag Shaniqua to the corner, but Danny holds onto her leg until Scotty breaks him off with a right hand. One for Doug too, who has resurfaced on the apron. Rikishi climbs to the second rope, but before he can take flight, the Bashams scoop him by each leg and deliver a double powerbomb. That was good.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I've changed the name here, and it's now Haniqua. Rolls into a cover, and we get the 1-2. No, Rikishi kicks out. Thank God. Mm-hmm. From the apron, Scotty takes flight and levels both Bashams with a double clothesline. Her name is now corrected. Shaniqua is setting Rikishi up for a clothesline, but the arm is caught, and the champion throws her up and drives her down with a Samoan drop. Nice. Yep. Dragged to the corner, and at the second time of asking, we do get a bonsai drop, shades of Yokozuna, for the 1-2-3. Nick has a very difficult job of counting the shoulders based on where Shaniqua is laying, so she kindly shuffles slightly for him, but the end result is that the WWE Tag Team Champions have successfully defended their titles. Holly, what do you think of the match?
Realistically, it wasn't amazing, but because of who it was, I enjoyed it.
I get what you're saying. It was a fine opener. So for me, an opening match needs to do one of two things.
Okay.
It needs to either be quite high-flying and impactful, like basically the way that WCW use the cruiserweights. They'd often have them start the show, so you kind of go, oh, that's exciting. Yeah. Or it needs to have some sort of comedic value.
Yeah, fair.
This had the Scotty 2 Hotty Rikishi vibe. Yeah. It didn't quite land for me personally, and I should say as well, I actually managed to get Dave Meltzer's ratings for this show, so we'll find out what Big Boy Dave thought as well.
My mate Dave.
Your mate Dave, and what would you have scored this match?
I gave it 2 out of 5, which, in hindsight, yes, is very high. I just like that it's Scotty 2 Hotty.
Fine.
Also, just for info,
yeah, go on.
How old do you think Scotty 2 Hotty was her?
So this is what, 2004?
Correct.
I would put him in his late 40s, early 50s now. So I would have him as... Oh, it's going to upset me, isn't it? I want to say about 32.
He was 31, yeah.
Yeah.
31, Rikishi was 39.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Because Rikishi looks his age, whereas Scotty 2 Hotty... Did you see, actually, recently, speaking of Scotty 2 Hotty, he had the match with his son.
Yes.
As a tag team. Oh, because we get the same Instagram feeds, don't we?
Yes,
because it's the... Right.
We do.
But yes, I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Also, sorry, this is completely out of the blue. We never do we don't really do what do you see anything in wrestling this week? But I saw something this morning.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen anything from what happened from SmackDown yesterday?
No, I haven't been on social media today.
What time is it?
Oh, she cashed in. Ooh.
She did cash in.
Successfully. Ooh.
She did cash in successfully.
My interest is peaked. Against who?
Nia.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Fair. We knew it was coming.
She was in the ring, she went. And then
Good.
did the triple jump moonsault.
Nice.
Hit it, pinned her, title. She's out. And the crowd were cheering her, but the way she was doing it, the one thing I was disappointed by, because I haven't seen the whole context, I'll need to watch that show.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll actually cover
Okay.
this show, although it is 3 hours, putting that out there, is the fact that when she won it, it was the first time she's won a title, apart from the Money in the Bank thing.
Yeah.
And she just very much didn't look overwhelmed by the situation. And that's one of two reasons for me. She has the picture backstage with Triple H pointing at her, and she doesn't even look that emotional about it then. So either she's doing a very good job of being a heel on it, or she genuinely doesn't care as much as I thought she did, and that sucks.
Okay.
I thought we'd get a few tears.
Did you?
Yeah, not because whether it's a guy or girl, I don't care. I like to see the fact that they clearly wanted it so badly. But I think that means that they're going to try and keep her heel.
Ooh, okay.
Which is interesting, given who that she took it from. But her reaction when the crowd cheered, and she just no-sold the fact that they were cheering. She went on the commentary table and put the title up, and then just walked off backstage with it.
Oh, I'll have to give it a watch.
Yeah, so I was a little bit underwhelmed with that. But yeah, complete segue, but this is topical. It happened yesterday.
Yeah, and you knew I'd enjoy a bit of Tiffy time. So.
Yeah, who doesn't enjoy a bit of Tiffy time? God bless her. I saw, there was another thing speaking about Tiffy time, that she did this, I want to say it came up again as a reel on Instagram. Sure. And she was doing this dance thing, and Ludwig Kaiser
He's in a
was
lot
standing
of
behind.
stuff, yeah.
He was leaning against the wall holding a drink, and she did a thing. She did this dance, and then pointed at him to do something, and he just smiled and gave her a little peck and walked off. And I was like, that's quite nice.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's quite nice. So Big Dave scored this match 1.25, not Tiffy. Fair. By the way.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'd go 1.5 because I thought actually Shaniqua played her part quite well.
She did.
And she was, got to be careful with how I say this, shit for the most part.
Right.
But in this match, it was fine. So I was okay with that. So I'd probably go 1.5, but Dave, 1.25.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't think it was horrendous, but to be fair, it's just Scotty too hotty for me. I'm happy. It's nostalgia.
It is nostalgia. It is the height of nostalgia. Okay. As the champions celebrate their win, Cole mentioned that one man has still not arrived in the building as of yet. And that man, Holly, is Bill Daddy Goldberg. The camera trains in on the empty front row seat, which amusingly has Eddie's face shrugging on it like, I don't know where he is, Holmes. I thought that was quite good. Taz doesn't believe that Goldberg is coming at all tonight. We shall see.
Okay.
Oh, your brain went somewhere else, didn't it?
Unlike he was all day with the
You wanted to be next, didn't you? Yeah. We see images of downtown San Francisco briefly before we transition to the package for the next match of the night.
This can get in the fucking bin, honestly.
Why?
Honestly.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Hideous.
Okay.
It's so dumb.
We see the downfall of the relationship between Jamie Noble and Nydia.
Yes.
After Jamie Noble got inheritance money.
Yeah, apparently.
The couple are blown away by all-you-can-eat buffets and even running water. Jamie, and then this is a quote, okay, word for word. You pretty much sucked me dry!
That's exactly what I've written down.
And I was like, hello?
I've just put, you sucked me dry. And I was like, do I remember the context of that?
But in that voice was amazing.
Oh,
apologies for your ears on that. I don't know if I did it justice, but I recalled last time I heard myself back doing a Jamie Noble impression. It was all right, so I thought I'd give it a punt. And I'll be honest, until I saw that line, because if I've got quotation marks, there's a chance I either mean to say a direct quote or I'm preparing to do it. And I wasn't sold on that one until I was like, no, I've got to say that in his voice. Well now, sounds like the money she spent was very much well earned if that was the case. Noble says he should have dumped her the moment she became blind. Aww. We see footage of Nydia having a tug of war with Tajiri over the Cruiserweight title until the buzzsaw produced the dreaded Black Mist. Now, the Black Mist is levels up from the Green Mist and the Red Mist. So the Green Mist kind of temporarily blinds you, the Red Mist burns, and the Black Mist blinds you for a longer period.
So dumb.
That's how it works. It's the food colouring. It changes how it reacts with the eyeballs.
Sure.
Noble said, no, we've done that. We see a number of instances where Noble sacrificed Nydia, like a big man, in order to win matches. Noble wants Nydia gone, but wants all the stuff he bought her back.
Tut. It's very frowned upon.
One thing that did come back was Nydia's eyesight, and she's shown throwing Jamie's cash into the crowd. Not like the Brutus the Barber Beefcake at WrestleMania, where he's giving one out, pocketing 3, giving another one out, pocketing 4.
Maybe if she'd have known where her career was going, she would have done that.
Oh, 100%, bless her. Nydia spoke to Paul Heyman, who agreed to make the match between the two of them, because Paul Heyman was the SmackDown general manager at the time. Make the match between the two of them, one where Noble has to wear a blindfold, and I can hear Holly groan.
Honestly, I rolled my eyes so hard I thought I was going to go blind.
Brilliant. And when I say I heard her groan, I meant not in a good way. Nydia brings out a wood chipper and said that because Noble doesn't have a log big enough for the wood chipper, get it, man has a micro twig, or she has a massive anyway, she throws her $5,000 bollocks mink coat into the wood chipper. I'll be honest, Nydia, keep it, sell it.
Oh yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Stupid.
But now we get to the match. And this might be my most favourite titled match, as Tony Chimmel called it. It's Jamie Noble versus Nydia in a boyfriend versus girlfriend Jamie Noble blindfolded match.
Sounds like a fun Friday night.
Doesn't it just, eh? We're getting up to the melt and wax match later on and the food play final.
Oh, okay.
So immediately I laugh as I hear Tony Chimmel call this a boyfriend versus girlfriend blindfold match, as it sounds more like a sexpedition than a wrestling match. I went the same way with it. Noble looks very confident, in stark contrast to Nydia's concerned demeanour. Holly, thoughts on Nydia's gear here? Very country girl next door, wouldn't you say?
I mean, yeah, but I just don't care. This whole entire thing can get in the bin. It's so dumb. And you know what annoys me? She comes down pretending to look concerned. Mate, you asked for the match. So I don't really get it. Like, why you? If you don't think you can do it, don't ask for it.
Because then it's on the plate in front of her. It's like when you go, yeah, I'll have the extra large whatever meal, and then it gets put in front of you, you go, oh shit, that's actually...
Oh, it's just dumb to me.
So Jamie Noble was her extra large meal.
Wow.
What a fat man reference that is to make, by the way. Just a massive amount of food. Brilliant. Jamie vehemently argues about putting the blindfold on until he eventually gives in. The crowd is chanting, Jamie sucks, the entire time. No offence, Jamie. Any Jamies out there that are listening, because there's probably one of you somewhere.
You'd hope.
You'd hope, yeah. Credit to Noble, though. As soon as he pulls the hood down, he has eyed where Nydia is standing and charges in that direction. The fact he can see her with it on is beside the point. Yeah. Only just missing her as she escapes out the ring.
Boring.
Nydia ascends back to the apron and mounts the bottom rope to deliver a hellacious slap across the face of her ex. Were you thinking, go on, girl?
No.
A few exes I'd like to give a slap.
No.
Oh, wow.
No. None of them worth my time.
Oh! Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Noble takes his hood off as he complains, and referee Charles Robinson is yelling at him to put it back on and not to do that again.
So this is about 500 minutes too long of this one entire match.
Nydia is on the outside and is being counted out until she trips Jamie from behind, slides back into the ring and connects with a good drop kick to the side of the head. Not bad. Not quite Jake the Snake, but Nydia does find a strategy of jumping in the ring to make sounds to lure Jamie in that direction before kicking him in the arse. Apart from the kicking in the arse, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Jamie charges but misses not once, but twice. Win twice. However, on the second attempt, Nydia appears to be cornered as she's concerned about making any noise. Noble has his hands out and is about 2 inches away from the Twin Peaks before he decides that she can't be in the corner and must have moved. I was like, is he going to give her a honk? Yeah, like,
that would have been funny, I'll be honest. That would have been a highlight of the whole fucking match.
I think Nydia might have disagreed with that personally, but...
I don't know. We've seen what she's done to him before. Like, you know.
For money.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
In a unique move, Nydia proceeds to pants her former lover before connecting with a bulldog as he looks to pull his jorts back up.
Why?
Because it's funny.
It's not funny.
It's hilarious. Cover leads to a near fall, but now Nydia is in trouble as Jamie has a hold of her. This is what Taz has been saying all match long. He says as soon as he gets his hands on her, she's in trouble. Noble grabs her by the leg, but Nydia plants her feet either side of his head and twists, sending him head over heels. Decent move that, not bad. Not bad.
Sure.
Jamie ends up on the outside and eats a baseball drop kick to the face. Now he's disoriented and walks towards the commentary table before eventually making his way back to the ring where Nydia is mocking that he cannot see.
Oh, whatever.
It's amazing how many notes I've still got left, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how. I've literally not got many. I think you can just tell how annoyed I am this whole entire match.
Nydia now mockingly walks behind Noble closely, pretending to bang him from behind, and mocks grabbing his arse. Only fair, he mocked grabbing her tits. Apart from the humping part, this is what my wife does to me on the daily. Seriously, it's uncanny. She'll just walk behind me and it's straight. As soon as like my back's turned to her, I've got a natural reaction now and I have to fight it out in public, where I'll put my hand there to swat hands away. So when I'm doing it in the office, just going up the stairs and you two are behind me from lunch, my brain goes, she's not going to grab your ass here, she's not going to grab your ass here, but my hand is ready at any moment because old handsy wifey. Third kick in the arse sends Jamie sprinting neck first into the ropes, where he's now losing his temper. Schoolgirl trip sees Noble land on his arse and he is livid. Jamie pulls around and eventually grabs a hold of someone, but sadly it's the referee, which gives Nydia a moment to throw some strikes. This was a mistake, however, as now he has a hold of her and double legs her to the floor. 2 handfuls of hair and Taz calls No 2 handfuls of hair and Taz calls now Noble has some riding time on her. But I think that was more accurate when they were together, surely. Nydia is so keen to get away, she sacrifices some of her own hair in order to do so. As she's lying on the canvas, she connects with a drop toe hold that lands Noble neck first across the middle rope. 619? 69. Kick to the side of the head from the apron, and now she goes up top. As the ref is counting, Noble sneaks a glance and sees Nydia's location, cutting her off and press slamming her down to the canvas. Not satisfied just yet, Noble locks in a guillotine choke and Nydia taps in submission.
Good.
Jamie holds on to the hold a little too long, and even Taz says, that's not cool. Not really a match this, was it? But it was a happening.
No.
Holly, thoughts?
Shit. I get it.
That's what Dave's review said, actually.
I get the point of it, but I just couldn't care any less if I tried.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to see this on SmackDown, let alone a pay-per-view.
No.
Blindfold matches are never good.
No.
The best one I think you're ever likely to see, there's probably an exception. I think there might be a half-decent one at TNA. Right. It's probably going to be Jake Roberts against... And that, what you
Even
know...
that was dire.
True, but in terms of... By comparison with what it's with, that's one of the better ones.
See the point?
No, well, they don't see either. That is the point. But yeah, not good at all. Yeah, so what'd you score it?
Nil point.
Nil point.
Yeah.
So 3 nil points all around. But I prefer the way that it's listed by Dave.
Okay.
He calls it a dud.
Yeah.
0 stars.
Yeah,
Dud.
Fair enough.
As Jamie Noble makes his way backstage, the commentary turns to the triple threat match later this evening to decide the number 1 contender for the WWE title. Friend of the show, Kurt Angle, is seen laid out backstage before later assaulting the 2 men he believes to be most likely in The Big Show and John Cena.
This VT instantly annoyed me because, there's a stretcher and oxygen.
Yeah, baby. After this footage ends, we head back to the arena backstage, where Kurt Angle is being interviewed by what looks to be a cross between Steve Jobs, Ellen DeGeneres, and the lead singer of Good Charlotte, but it turns out to be Josh Matthews.
Oh.
Matthew, seriously, what is he wearing?
I know, he loves a roll neck.
Yeah, but he's got like the ears pierced, the little bracelet on, the emo blonde dyed hair. He's like all those people moulded into one.
Yeah.
Matthews asks Kurt why he attacked John Cena in the Big Show on SmackDown. Angle is annoyed by this question and proposes why Big Show and Cena are not explaining themselves for attacking him first. Angle admits to not knowing who attacked him, but logic would dictate it would be one of his opponents for tonight as they had the most to gain from it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
As Kurt goes on to say he wants to head to WrestleMania to compete for the WWE title, a familiar face cuts him off. So, you think you're untouchable? Holly, for the first time in a long time, we see John Cena on the Win Twice Wrestling podcast. But this isn't just any John Cena.
No.
This is the Doctor, or if you're Holly, Master.
I've even written Master.
Of Thugonomics. You did it again.
Yeah, literally. The Master of Thugonomics.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's never been the Master of Thugonomics. It's always the Doctor. He's got a PhD.
I bet he does.
No, I don't know.
That's pretty huge.
No, I don't reckon he does.
Do you know?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Who out of the wrestlers do I think has the biggest sausage? Omos. Obviously.
Tripod.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kickstand. Yeah, we call him. Right, who do you reckon?
Oh, I'll be honest, I don't know. It's not a question.
Well, no, I don't know.
I thought I'd get asked.
Well, there you go.
Oh, I said, just give me a bit of time to think about it.
Okay,
And I'll come back to you.
Conversely, who has what would be the equivalent? Tightest, I guess.
Oh, God.
But or the widest, to be fair. The widest would be more interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, there's got to be someone there. Who do I reckon's had the most road miles? Oh, that's an image. I'm thinking of Nia now, and I'm not happy about it. Can we go back to this now?
Yep.
Okay, Cena tells it Angle. He has him all fucked up, but not in those words.
No.
Yes, he's a guy that will knock him out, but he's a guy that will do it right to his face. As he says that, Cena slaps Angle, and the two men begin to brawl before they're separated by a number of backstage hands. As the cameras take us away from backstage, we're briefly shown the Golden Gate Bridge before music sounds to indicate our next contest. Next contest, Holly?
Yeah.
The world's greatest tag team versus the APA.
Yeah.
In theory, you're like, oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Tell me why that's your reaction. I know why.
So, we know I'm a fan of the APA, right? And I honestly couldn't really tell you. I just am. And then they appear, and Bradshaw ruins it.
Why has Bradshaw ruined it?
He's got short hair.
Short, blondie, brownie
Where's his
hair.
long black hair gone?
Goatee?
And it ruins the whole look.
It does. It looks like a couple of dads.
Yeah, and it completely changed.
I agree.
My brain just went, oh no, this is upsetting now.
So, with the world's greatest tag team on the other side, do you know how they kind of broke into the main roster of WWE? Look at their gear. Does their gear remind you of anyone?
Well, in my head, I was like, are they collegiate? Is that the word?
They are. Yeah, they both got.
So I
So
would
Seton Hall
assume
University was Charlie Haas.
It was something to do with Kurt Angle?
It was. Yeah. So
Oh,
they
okay.
came in as his kind of assistants, basically, in
okay.
terms of as a tag team. So they were linked with him, and that's why they wore the same similar gear. But you're right. They both got decorated collegiate resumes. So Charlie Hall, I said I don't know who that is. Charlie Haas was at Seton Hall University, and interestingly, Shelton Benjamin was a senior on the team where Brock Lesnar came through. So Brock Lesnar always respects in real life Shelton Benjamin because he sees him as a senior.
Actually. Yes, I have read about those.
So they went through Minnesota. But yeah, so there you go. That's a bit of background on them, and I've got a little bit more for you as well, potentially. So, with the world's greatest tag team having made their way to the ring, we're shown footage of Shelton Benjamin injuring the right arm of Bradshaw before ultimately losing the singles match that they had. With that, back in the arena, one of Holly's favourites, the APA, make their way to the ring. Unfortunately, it's a no from me. The moment Bradshaw cuts his hair short, he's too close to JBL for my liking, and I find him massively irritating. Bradshaw is noticeably wearing a taped arm, and perhaps that is why Farouk is the man to start against Shelton Benjamin. Shelton ducks under a lockup, shifts to a reverse waistlock, and lifts before dumping Farouk to the canvas, where he transitions to a front facelock. After a brief bit of riding time, Shelton hooks the leg for a sneaky 2 count. Farouk looks frustrated as he pauses on one knee before suggesting a test of strength. Shelton is too smart for that apparently, but he does eat a knee to the gut as he's pointing at the side of his head, showing how smart he is. Strong whip and back elbow from Farouk, who gets a 2 count of his own now before making the tag to Bradshaw. Double team shoulder block puts Shelton on the canvas, as does the following swinging neck breaker that earns a count of 2. Shelton strikes out the injured arm before tagging Charlie Haas into the fray. Holly, I assume you remember Charlie Haas?
Kind of.
But have you ever heard of his younger brother Russ?
No.
Russ and Charlie were a promising young tag team in the late 90s going into the early part of the new millennium and impressed the WWE during their tryout match at Madison Square Garden. The brothers worked through a couple of the promotion's developmental leagues, but sadly, on September 24, 2001, Haas had a heart attack as a result of a pre-existing heart condition. On December 15, 2001, Russ died of heart failure in his sleep at the age of just 27.
Jeez.
He was found dead by his wife Deidre shortly after his brother Charlie had left for the night.
That's so sad.
And if you look it up, Russ, it's a weird thing to say, Russ looks more like Charlie than Charlie looks like Charlie. They're so similar in appearance.
Right.
The main difference was that Russ had a goatee.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they looked like they were going to be a really good up-and-coming tag team. And at 27,
Jeez.
gone. Really sad. Really sad. But Charlie Haas was around for a fair amount of time in the WWE. It wasn't nearly as successful as Shelton was of the two. But he did have that infamous moment. I think it was he'd been released and he'd come back. And he was introduced on Raw. You might have seen the footage of this. And he started running the ropes as Lillian Garcia's leaving the ring. Hits the ropes. She's still going out the ring. The ropes knock her. She falls down. And you hear her scream because she, like, I don't know if she twists or breaks her ankle. As she hits the floor, you just hear, ah! As she falls. And it's a really awkward moment because he knows he's done something. And he has to pretend like and completely ignore it.
Oh.
So,
I see.
yeah, I think that's made one of the Botchamania
yeah.
reels at some point in the past, I'm sure of it. Back to the match, and Charlie is looking to work over the injured arm, but is clubbed free and dropped with a back elbow from the Texan. Strong whip into the buckles has Huss fall on his face hard. Snapmare by Bradshaw, who tags in Farouk to connect with a falling forearm to the lower back. Hook of the leg from Farouk, but the pin is broken up by Shelton. Second strong whip into the buckles for Haas, who again falls on his face. Third corner whip sees Haas hit, but he manages to avoid the following charge of Farouk, who hurts his shoulder in the process. Charlie wraps the appendage around the top rope and pulls until referee Brian Hebner forces him away. However, this is enough opportunity for Shelton to yank the arm over the rope as he jumps from the apron. Hammerlock applied by Haas, who tags Shelton in to land a leaping stomp over the top rope. Benjamin takes over on the hold and drives the knee into the limb before tagging back out. What period, actually, thinking about it, because you mentioned your thoughts on the APA.
Yeah.
They must have had a very small window then for you where you really liked them, because they were known as the Acolytes for a long time.
Yeah.
And every time we call them the Acolytes, you go, no.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you, but I think when we watch it or watch them when they are the APA,
Yeah.
and it's the long dark hair, big fan.
Yeah.
But I don't think it lasted very long.
No.
Because weirdly, I knew they were also of age, but do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
do know
they
what you
were
mean, yeah.
older guys.
Yeah.
But as soon as the hair was chopped, they both immediately aged a lot for me as well, and I was like, oh, okay.
Farouk did age massively quickly because
Yeah.
he never looked like a young man, even when he won
No.
the world title in WCW by beating Vader, which is a match, again, I would love to have got us to watch, so hopefully we can do. He looked old then,
Yeah.
and that was early 90s, like 92.
Yeah. But
So-
it's odd for me that also Bradshaw aging ultimately
I hate it.
aged Farouk for me as
Yeah.
well. And I was like, it is like watching two dads.
Yeah, it
have a
really is.
wrestle.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. And like I said, as soon as he cut his hair short, I remember going, I don't care about him. I remember thinking this at the time. And then when he became JBL, I cared about him
I
even
don't
less.
care. Yeah, I have no. I think this was the start of my decline of actually I don't like him.
Yeah.
Like
But you have to, in your head, they're two different people. He's cut
100%.
his hair now.
100%.
It's like it's Samson, isn't it, who's cut his hair and now he's lost all his powers.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
what's happened here for Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Shoulder lock from Haas, but the tags are thick and fast as Benjamin leaps over to drive his weight down across the back of Farouk. Fujiwara armbar applied, and Shelton once again looks to steal a pin with a 2 count before returning to an arm lock. Farouk tries to fight back, but Benjamin puts him back to the canvas with a divorce court. And do you know why they call it a divorce court? Do you know what a divorce court is?
No.
So let's say you put your arm out straight in front of me from the side. I grab it. I'm falling back, keeping your arm straight.
Okay.
Because it doesn't just separate the shoulder, it divorces it.
I see.
There you go.
Thank you.
A bit of Jim Cornette for you. Hammerlock transition to a pin, but Bradshaw kicks him in the back of the head to break it up. Shelton drags Farouk by the leg to his own corner, where Huss enters with some boots. Not legally, however, so he exits to make the tag before going back to work.
Just looks
Dumb.
silly.
Knee to the arm and some stomps land before the arm lock is reapplied as Bradshaw looks to fire up the crowd, which they briefly do. Body slam from Haas, but he runs into a big spine buster from the former WCW World Champion. Both men make tags, but it is Bradshaw who comes in steaming as he bulldozes Shelton with a shoulder tackle before levelling him with a big boot. One move we didn't see in this match, he didn't catch someone, boot someone else and then throw the guy.
No.
Well, he throws a guy, but
Even the big boot before, I've been like, oh, I like it. Now I just don't care.
that's fair. Haas is sent for the ride on a back body drop. Scoop power slam on Shelton, and now Haas is sent over the ropes to the floor. Bradshaw signals putting a cigar out on the back of Benjamin before driving him into the canvas with a nice powerbomb. I'll give him credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Hook of the leg for the 1, 2, no. Haas is there to break it up with a leg drop to the back of the head. Farouk sends Haas to the floor and follows him to the outside, where he finds his whip reversed and he goes shoulder first into the ring post.
Take a drink.
I like the fact that I'm looking at my phone here to read these notes, but I saw your eyes just flick up to me before this bit. You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Bradshaw charges into a back elbow in the corner from Shelton, who heads to the top rope. Bradshaw cuts him off and from the second rope sends him flying with a last call. Nice.
Yeah.
Haas back in and he whips the Texan into the buckles but misses with a follow-up, allowing Bradshaw to connect with a wicked clothesline from hell with the injured arm.
Wicked.
A wicked. With the injured arm, I might add.
Yeah, right.
Super kick from Shelton scores and Bradshaw crumples to the canvas. Cover and we get the 1, 2, 3. The world's greatest tag team are your winners.
Yeah.
I was happy with that. I didn't want the APA to win.
No, me neither, actually. Which
That's amazing.
is so bizarre.
Cannot believe that.
No.
Cole. I don't think I've seen Bradshaw in this amount of pain before in the ring. Clearly Cole has forgotten about the brawl for all where he was knocked unconscious. Holly, thoughts on this match?
Oh.
What is the score?
Oh, right. I look at the score now and I'm like, oh, it's a bit high. But I had to rate it higher considering that I gave Scotty 2 Hotty and Rikishi a 2. So for me, this gets a 3 out of 5.
Oh my God.
Oh,
okay.
I know it's high, but in comparison to... I'm not very good with the point.
Yeah, okay.
And this was better. There was more content for me than that much. So I had to give it a 3 considering I gave that a 2.
Dave, 1.25. I would only score it 1.5, so I would tie it with the score from the opening match. I didn't think it was any better.
Oh, I would say that. I'd say it was, but that's just my opinion.
No, I think in this one, there was nothing that really engaged me. The last call I liked, the powerbomb was nice.
Yeah.
Outside of that, even having just read back the notes, there's nothing that sticks out to me as being interesting.
Yeah.
So that's why I'd probably score it the same.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
You're right.
Sorry.
You playing?
I've got my lip. I can feel it.
Do you need a pause for the calls?
No,
Or are you good?
it's okay. Carry on.
Well, you're going to get excited now because we are now shown a hoodie-wearing Goldberg making his way into the arena, and apparently he just always has security with him whenever he walks.
Fair.
He debates removing his hoodie, only to put it back on as he makes his way to his front row seat.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Because he needs to take it off later.
Of course.
Oh, correction. Now the hoodie comes off. A fierce-looking Goldberg still has it in him to hug the terrified-looking child sat next to him as we head to a promo package. Mm-hmm. But he still does the
He
face.
shows he's a bit of an armadillo, you know. He's like tough and exterior, but he's got a little heart in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do you think about Goldberg now?
What do you mean? Like right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just carry on. I don't know.
All right, fair enough. We see footage from the Royal Rumble the previous month where Lesnar interrupted a Goldberg interview to brag about his win over Hardcore Holly.
Sure.
Speaking of Hardcore Holly, now we are taken to when Lesnar jumped Goldberg in the Rumble and hit him with an F5, leading to his elimination by Kurt Angle. Before the VT comes to an end, we see Goldberg spear Paul Heyman, because why not? Back in the arena, Goldberg is giving a masked kid a hug and high five as we hear the music of Paul Heyman begin to play. Heyman is wide-eyed, holding his ribs as he walks into the ring. And when I say holding his ribs, I'm not talking about from the buffet. Not taking his gaze away from the man sat in the front row. Heyman asks Goldberg just who in the hell he thinks he is. Goldberg cups his ear to the fans in response, who do not chant his name, really.
They don't. No. And also, I'm just going to point out here, his neck is the size of his head.
Yes.
It's insane.
So he's a man who could take a pile driver. He's a man who can knock himself out on a ring post, missing a spear.
Yes.
He's a man who can lacerate his own arm by punching a window out in a limo. He's a man who can make himself bleed from headbutting a door before he gets to the ring.
Look, I know there's a lot of bad about him. I know.
No, I like Goldberg.
But he's
In the 90s, Goldberg was up
not-
there for me.
not an ugly man.
He's not an ugly man.
No.
Might not be the smartest man, like doing some of that stuff, I'll be honest. Bless him.
No.
I'm well aware at the age of 706 or whatever he is, he could still wear me like a fucking beret. But, like, I just, yeah.
Of all the things to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going a bit flowery with it. It's fine. The SmackDown GM says that this is the first pay-per-view under his watch and congratulates Goldberg on his good taste in choosing to watch SmackDown over the inferior Raw. Heyman, he wasn't Scottish for this.
No.
He wasn't being played by David Tennant. Heyman issues a warning to Goldberg and says that if Goldberg so much as gets out of the chair, he will not hesitate to have security take him out of the building, have him removed, have him arrested, have him taken away. Okay?
Sure.
As Heyman skirts having a cardiac episode, we see Brock Lesnar make his way down the aisle. Paul takes this opportunity to inform Goldberg of a saying they have on SmackDown. Here comes the pain. Doom, doom,
I love it.
doom, doom.
Something about Brock at this point, is just brilliant.
Okay.
I know it's, I don't know. I remember back then watching his matches and being a bit bored because ultimately there was a time when he won everything.
Not necessarily around this time though.
No. So I do remember being a bit bored. But he's just menacing. He is brilliant.
I actually genuinely think Brock as an overall performer is quite underrated.
Yeah.
I think when there's a match that I'd quite like you to see. He has an Iron Man match with Kurt Angle.
Okay.
And it's good. And I think it was on a SmackDown. I don't think it was on a pay-per-view. But his selling, very good. For a big man, he can sell. Granted, he had Paul Heyman talk for him. Some of his promo stuff is good.
Oh, there's so much of his stuff that I love.
It's good,
I mean,
though.
But also we know that I like it when he transformed many years later and showed his comedic side.
With the boombox.
I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
And then got angry at Paul Heyman when he realised he could have a year to cash it in because he thought he had to do it soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
No, I honestly think Brock Lesnar's underrated.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? Now Brock has the mic and waves at Goldberg asking, "How you doing, Bill?"
Yeah, I like that.
The crowd are in full voice chanting, "You tapped out."
Yep.
Lesnar says he came out to prove to everyone that he's not intimidated of Goldberg and challenges him to come and get him right now, but finds a frantic Heyman cutting him off to try and defuse the situation. Brock persists and says instead of interfering in his match later on, why doesn't he just come and get him now? Heyman tells Bill to stay seated as Lesnar says Goldberg is scared of him.
So many mixed messages.
Yep.
Sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up.
It's like the hokey cokey, isn't it?
Hey.
Lesnar actually makes a very good point as he reminds Goldberg that Stone Cold told him not to do anything he wouldn't do himself before going on to say that Austin wouldn't get in the ring with him either. Perhaps a nod to how Stone Cold refused to lose to Brock on TV and took his ball and went home. Brock signs off by saying, "You just sit there and be the bitch that you are."
I like it.
Now Bill is on his feet.
Of course he is.
You don't call Bill a bitch.
Absolutely.
Heyman is screaming like, "No! No! No!" But Goldberg, "Yes, my tribal chief," climbs over the barrier and makes his way into the ring. Brock looks shaken as he looks as though he's about to exit on the other side, but he stands his ground.
That for me kind of ruined it a little bit.
No, I like the fact that he's like, no, I'm not. Like Brock Lesnar showing slight intimidation to one person.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I was just a bit like, no, don't ruin the illusion. For
Goldberg
me.
had a better NFL career because Lesnar didn't have one. But there you go.
Yeah.
Both men rip their shirts off and Heyman screams, "Hey!" This distracts Goldberg and Lesnar charges at him. Holly sorts herself out, focuses again on what noises were you making, okay, when both of their shirts came off. What noises were coming out of you? Was it, oh?
I mean, not quite like that.
Okay.
But I was just... Also, I didn't think it was really necessary.
Didn't go yummy.
But, oh no.
I've got a story on that later, by the way.
I didn't think it was necessary, but I'm not mad at it.
Fair enough.
Goldberg can take his top off anytime he likes.
But not Lesnar.
He's got a great physique.
Of course he does.
Absolutely great physique, just not... He's not one for me.
No? Okay, fair enough.
No, he's got such a baby face.
Oh, okay. What about with the beard, though? Later on.
He's never appealed to me attractive wise.
Fair enough.
Great physique, looks amazing, just not for me.
Fair enough. So Goldberg's been charged into the buckle, series of shoulder tackles by the champion, and he picks up the former WCW Kingpin for an F5, but no, Goldberg slips out the back, and instead connects with a very impressive jackhammer. The fans really, really, really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, me too.
I bet. Heyman is screaming for security to come and help, which they eventually do.
Oh, this is absolutely ridiculous. 4 middle-aged men.
This is the bit that lost me. Goldberg blows one of them a kiss, but then does place his hands behind his back so he can be cuffed.
Right, I'm going to have a little moment on Goldberg here.
Okay, do you need me to leave the room?
His physique is ridiculous.
Yes.
And I've never really noticed it before.
It's unbelievable.
His chest. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And also, do you know what I quite like? And it's hairy. There's not many wrestlers that you see. Most of them wax it all off.
Well, if you like a hairy chest.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was not bizarre, but like it's different because most of them are so clean shaven, waxed, whatever. It's just a bit manly. It's great.
Yeah, nice. You like a man. Goldberg blows one of them a kiss, but does place his hands behind his back, away from his hairy chest, so he can be weird how I put that. So he can be cuffed. He then fights free, so nobody touches him as he walks backwards up the ramp, marvelling at his handiwork back in the ring.
Yes. Before the next bit happens.
Okay.
Brock.
Yep.
How old do you think? I did a lot of age googling here. I had to know.
24.
27. Goldberg was 38.
Because he won the title and he was the youngest, and I thought he was 22.
I just googled it.
Oh no, because when Randy wins it, he was 24. So yeah, 25. Yeah.
So 27 and 38.
38. Good age. With Goldberg now backstage, what's good age?
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't know what you mean.
With Goldberg, well, let's be fair, it's nearer to both of our ages now.
Thank God.
With Goldberg now backstage, Lesnar is struggling to make it to his feet in the ring when Hardcore Holly's music hits, and it really could be a bad night for the champion, who hastily exits the ring before the man whose neck he broke can lay hands on him.
Wait, he's got a broken neck?
Oh, not only he's got a broken neck.
Broken neck.
They never mention it.
Stop it.
They never
Shut
mention
your
it.
Mouth. Broken
Well, it's
neck.
better than saying he's got fuck all charisma and interest.
Personality of a wet mop.
Honestly. It's like he looks like a...
But he had a broken
He's
neck.
like a balding beaver. He's like, his physique is great. Physique is great.
Credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Physique is amazing.
And occasionally hits a very nice drop kick,
But
which
I
he then
just
celebrates.
Don't care.
No one cares. No one's ever cared.
But he's got a broken neck.
Yeah, he broke his
Serious?
neck.
He broke his neck.
Yeah, like Brock Lesnar dropped
your
him on his
mouth.
neck. Have you seen that? Where he drops him on his neck and breaks his neck. Did you know he broke his neck the day he broke his neck?
Do you know who else got a broken neck?
Rhino? Did Rhino get a surgically repaired neck? Did he? The man beast Rhino.
It's the highlight of this
But
match.
not only Rhino got a broken neck, I'll tell you who also got a broken neck. Hardcore Holly got a broken neck.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah. Kurt Angle, broken neck. Edge, broken neck. Oh, where else do we go from here? There's so many people who broke their neck. I feel like there should be way more than that.
I'm sure there's hundreds.
Big E broke his neck. He's
Yeah.
not around now, but it's,
Yeah.
broken neck all the same.
Absolutely.
With Goldberg now backstage, we've done that. But don't worry. If we hear it once, we're going to hear it a schmillion times, roughly, I think. Oh, the next match. Imagine this. This is what I'm going back to, okay?
Okay.
I like Rhino in
Okay.
ECW.
Yes.
I like
Broken neck.
Hardcore Holly retired. Okay? I don't want to see this on pay-per-view.
No.
This isn't a pay-per-view match.
No. It's not.
There's been not a lot of pay-per-view matches.
No.
But anyway, this is the match that we get.
The broken neck match.
The surgically repaired is how they phrase it every time. So
Honestly.
the man facing Hardcore on this night is Rhino. And when I say Holly... No. The man facing Hardcore on this night is Rhino. And when I saw Holly...
Oh.
When I saw Holly...
Oh, okay.
What? No. Typo. Do that again. The man facing Hardcore on this night is Rhino. And when I say Holly awaits his opponent, he doesn't, as he storms up the ramp to begin brawling with Rhino immediately. Right. They make their way back to the ring for the bell to sound, and they both exchange kicks to the gut at the same time. Awkward. Exchange of wrist locks before Holly secures a takedown, courtesy of a side headlock. Back on their feet, and Rhino fights his way free with right hands, shoving Holly into the corner but misses the following charge.
I understand it's Hardcore Holly, but every time you say the name, I look up as if you're talking to me.
No, but to be fair, it's difficult because I'd also refer to you as Hardcore Holly at times. Kick to the midsection, and again, Hardcore hits a side headlock takedown.
Thank you.
After being in the position for a while, Rhino shifts position into a pin but only gets a 2. Back on their feet, Rhino punches his way free and pushes off but is dropped by a shoulder tackle. Hip tosses are countered by both men before Holly ducks a clothesline and opens the Hardcore Butcher's counter that specialises in chops at allegedly well over £400.
Mm-hmm.
Whip is countered, but Hardcore holds onto the ropes and sidesteps the stampeding Rhino, there you go, sending him over the ropes and to the floor. Sorry, I was proud of that one. Rhino plays possum, so he can do multiple animals, and lures Hardcore to the ropes where he drags him out under the bottom rope, driving him back first into the ring apron, not once, but twice. Back in the ring, I can tell Holly's enthused with this one. Hardcore is whipped into the buckles and is trapped with a running shoulder block that lands hard. Short-armed whip into a kitchen sink earns Rhino a 2 count. Holly, what are you thinking at this point?
I just don't care. But did you know they've both got surgically repaired necks? This, for me, was like when we watched the pay-per-view in Australia. Not as in we were there.
Wait, hang on.
No.
Elimination Chamber was in Australia?
It's the same thing, isn't it?
My God.
For me, it's like, stop it. Just stop telling me the same thing.
Do you know Tracy had a husband?
Oh my God. Over and over. Again, I know I'm not the cleverest or the brightest bulb in the box, but if I've heard it once, I've heard it 50 times.
And also a lot of neck play for your liking, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
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 Big right hand drops Holly to the Big right hand drops Hardcore to the canvas. We're going back to your clubbing days. And following a snapmare, Rhino applies a body scissors, putting those ridiculously stocky legs to good work. Hardcore eventually manages to shift to guard and punches his way free. Big right to the midsection gives Rhino control once more, and he drops Hardcore sternum first over the top rope, which earns him a near fall. 2 big right hands to the face puts Holly down, and Rhino shouts, "Come on, Bob!" Ooh. Which for some reason tickled me. His third attempt, however, is ducked and Hardcore connects with a back suplex. Hardcore doesn't have the time to capitalise though, and Rhino boots him in the side for a 1 count. Powerful corner whip sees Hardcore whiplash into the canvas hard. A lot of that as well. A hard corner buckle whips, someone falls down. Yeah. Like that happened a lot. I'm sorry, I'm twatting the microphone here like no one's business. No, we've done that. Corner boots by Rhino follow, and a second strong corner whip sees Holly hit the canvas a second time.
Boring.
As she did this morning. On the third, Hardcore rebounds out.
To be fair.
Yeah.
To be fair. It's a fair comparison.
On the third, Hardcore rebounds out and levels Rhino with a clothesline. So engaging is this match that Cole throws it over to the Spanish announce team, which is a massive fuck you to both men in the ring. Fair.
For quite an extended period of time as well. And you know what? I don't mind.
If hearing them wasn't enough, the cameras actually take us away from the ring to show Hugo and Carlos in conversation. Yeah. Tremendous stuff.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
As both men struggle to their feet, an exchange of right hands takes place that Holly gets the better of. He hits the ropes, ducks a clothesline and connects with a pair of his own. Whip is reversed and Hardcore hits a crap running clothesline, but I can't... No, it wasn't a running clothesline, it was a running drop kick, Scott. I remember that. Hits a running drop kick, but I can't imagine that is an easy move to hit in fairness, and it gets him a 2 count all the same. Holly climbs to the top rope, but is cut off by the War Machine, who delivers a second rope superplex. Rhino rolls to a cover and gets the 1, 2, no. Before I go on, do you know how difficult it's going to be if there's a match between Hardcore Holly and Scotty 2 Hotty?
That'd be brilliant.
It's going to be Scotty does this, Holly does that. It's going to be all over the place. Whip sends Hardcore into the ropes, but he counters a lift and lands a reverse DDT that gets him a near fall. If they mentioned it once, they mentioned it 100 fucking times. Holly, did you know both of these men have returned from surgically repaired necks?
If I didn't, I deserve to be put down after listening to this.
I bet you remember this for now until forever. Whip sends Holly into...
Now, forever.
Exactly, yeah, that. Broken necks, just that. Whip sends Holly into the buckles, but he gets the boot up on a charge. However, he still walks into a double A spine buster, which is hit beautifully, I might add.
Yes.
Rhino is setting up for the gore in the corner. Holly slowly makes it to his feet before being scythed in half. The impact of the move sends Hardcore rolling to the outside, which saves him from eating the pinfall. Referee's count gets to 9 before Hardcore returns, where Rhino is there to greet him with mounted right hands. Whip is reversed by Holly, and he connects with the Alabama Slam and falls into the cover for the 1, 2, 3. An out of nowhere victory for Hardcore Holly.
Yeah.
Holly.
Yes.
Holly.
Holly,
What do you think?
It's like Kelly, just have the same name
Holly,
twice. Holly.
Holla.
I hate that. I don't care about this match.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I cared more or less about this match or the blindfold match.
Oh, wow.
But, I mean, I've scored it higher.
Not much higher.
Well, a little.
Okay.
But I really struggle to watch a Hardcore Holly match and give a shit. And I don't...
Jamie, cut that.
No.
That needs to be used in something. That's amazing. I struggle to give a shit in a Hardcore Holly match.
I just don't know what it is about him. I just don't really care.
Okay, so my theory is that he's very average.
Right.
He's painfully average. If someone says average, this is what I think of. But not only that, from what I've seen and heard, bit of a prick as well.
Right.
Bit of a prick. Tough guy, sure, prick.
I'm not engaged in most things that he's involved in.
Yeah, no, even when he was going, like when he came back to have, so Royal Rumble 2004, he competed for the title.
Oh.
Because he was the one that had his neck broken by Lesnar. And
Hang
I thought...
He had his neck broken?
He had his neck broken.
Stop.
And what was really interesting about what he did on this show is that he went up against someone who had their neck fucking broken as well in Rhino. But when he was going up against Lesnar, I was like, I want Lesnar to crush him.
Absolutely.
And they made the match too even for my liking.
Right.
But
I just don't care.
No, I don't either. What'd you score it?
1.
1.75 was Big Dave's score.
Okay.
I throw it in with the milieu of the rest of them that I've given 1.5, and I put it at the same marking. The actual content, wrestling-wise, was probably better.
Oh, it was.
Than the other ones I've seen. But
I know it was. My brain just doesn't care.
Yeah, but I prefer Scotty to both of them.
Yeah.
What was the other match that I...
APA?
Yeah, and I like Shelton more than... I like the World's Greatest Tag Team more than both of them.
Yeah, there is something about...
I agree.
Holly that
it's so not a pay-per-view match.
Not invested. No, absolutely not.
And like I said, Rhino and ECW, sure.
Yeah, fine. But I just don't care.
At least have your eyebrow pierced or something, mate. You gave us nothing in this one. With Holly having left the ring, we see a long and foggy view of Alcatraz, which Cole wittingly remarks is another place there is no way out from. Mm-hmm. Hello. Now we've started. Given how pretty San Francisco is, these shots are really doing it no justice, but I guess they're limited to the weather there at this time of year. The promo screen... What? The promo screen for the next match appears before we are presented with a video package of what led us to this Cruiserweight title confrontation. Holly hears, "Oh, Cruiserweight title. This could be good." I think at this point we haven't really seen a quote-unquote good match so far.
Correct.
So when you see it's Rey Mysterio, Chavo Guerrero Jr., you're thinking, okay, it's going to at least be more entertaining in-ring-wise than what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what you thought of this, so I guess we'll find out.
I don't remember.
I can't remember what I scored it either, if I'm being perfectly honest, so we'll see what happens when we get there. But the VT package now plays, showing Chavo's betrayal of his uncle Eddie and the end of Los Guerreros. You look confused.
Always. It's my natural face.
Fair enough. The following battle between the two at the Royal Rumble, which involved Chavo Classic, which is Chavo's dad and Eddie's brother. Before we see Eddie motionless backstage, surrounded by medics, and Rey Mysterio. When Chavo Jr. and Classic arrive on the scene, Rey jumps both of them, which leads to Paul Heyman scheduling the Cruiserweight title match for No Way Out. And Chavo and Classic said, "We didn't do this." Mm-hmm. Which I think from storyline-wise, they actually didn't.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember who it was now, but someone did it. Anyway, we'll worry about that another time. Rey Mysterio calls the Chavos cowards and brings Jorge Paez to watch his back. Oh dear. Chavo inexplicably refers to Rey as a jumping bean, which is derogatory for Mexican people.
Oh.
Because your little jump, you know those things that you put in the hands and the beans kind of like kick about and stuff.
No, but thank you.
But it's basically, a derogatory term to a Mexican person. Chavo completely forgetting that he is as much Mexican as Rey Mysterio is at that point in time. As the cameras, he won't only just take his title, of course, he will take his mask as well. As the cameras take us to Taz and Michael Cole at ringside, the lights go out, and we're shown an eerie video of the return of the dead man in 28 days.
So this
no more biker taker.
This is the highlight of the show so far is a little preview that in 28 days he's coming back.
And what's happening in 28 days from that day?
WrestleMania?
WrestleMania said with such conviction.
I don't know.
Yes.
I know they said it, I'm sure, but
They did.
I don't have a clue.
They did, but yes, and that's when he comes back, and we are 3 WrestleManias away from that in our journey.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to watch any more Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
You've
know he wins
got
every
so
time.
much. He doesn't though.
Until 1.
No, he's lost 2.
Oh. Oh, please tell me it's soon.
No, and it's a shit match as well. Chavo Guerrero with Chavo Classic versus Rey Mysterio with Jorge Paez for the WWE Cruiserweight title.
He needs to go to a barber, this guy.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get to Jorge Paez. First question for you, Holly.
Yes.
Is this the first time you've heard the original WWE theme for Rey Mysterio?
Yes. Yeah.
I still remember the lyrics for it.
Oh.
I'm not going to do that.
No, that's a shame.
But, no, you don't want me to do that. Who's that jumping out of the sky? R-E-Y, Mysterio, here we go. When the lights out, the girls just pass out. No, I've forgotten it now. R-E-Y, Mysterio, here we go. With the mask out, the girls pass out, the boys tap out. Oh, no, boys black out, better tap out. Off the top rope, look out below, because the next thing you know, you'll be on the floor. What you going to do when you're on your back? With my mean body slam, oh, damn, that's whack.
Oh.
And then he said something about, all of a sudden this dude's sitting on my neck. Where's the ref? Straight from the WWE. Now how much trouble you see with the man of mystery or something like that. It's good. I think that me doing that there should be his theme.
Oh,
From now on, live. Just do
including
it like
the pause as well. That hang on.
and I forgot. Yeah, I know some of that's wrong now, but I'll do it like William Shatner did. You know, where he's just there talking lyrics of songs. And,
yes.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that because he did that for Shawn Michaels. Do you remember? He's just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. He's not your boy toy. That's great. Anyway, second question. Jorge Paez's hair. Discuss!
It's just bizarre.
I'm aware that this man is a dangerous man as a fighter, but that little fucking tough.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Come on now.
I don't understand.
Come on now. It looks, it makes me think of like a Mongolian warlord or something.
Okay.
Like where they've got that and then the ponytail that just comes out the back of their neck with
okay.
nothing.
Makes me think of Tintin.
Okay.
What?
I don't know.
It's because Tintin had that little
Yeah, he
tuft
did.
at the front, didn't he?
What's his dog called? Snowy?
Snowy, yeah.
Okay.
He just
Fucking
really
hell.
made me think of Tintin.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, Jorge Tintin Paez. Yeah, that was the nickname he should have had, wasn't it? Oh my god. The orange suit on Jorge is outrageous.
Yeah.
But in comparison to his hair, fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
The match begins and the two lock up. Reverse. Do you know that he was a former featherweight champion of the world?
Wait.
He did.
Wait,
yeah, he was.
stop.
Yeah. And also, Hardcore
Don't
Holly
mention
broke
that,
his neck.
Stop it. No.
I know.
Do you know Rhino did too?
Yeah, he did.
Oh my
He did,
God.
yeah. And Tracy had a husband. The match begins and the two lock up. Reverse waist lock by Chavo, but Ray shifts to a wrist lock. Chavo counters, but Ray rolls free and connects with an arm drag. Mysterio has the fans behind him and raises his arms with his back towards the buckles. Tentative lock up and Chavo applies a side headlock before being pushed off. Shoulder tackle takes Rey Mysterio down. Kick to the gut by Chavo, and following a snapmare, he claws away at the mask of Rey and comes close until he's kicked in the head. Drop kick by Rey sends Chavo through the ropes to the floor where he's consulted and reassured by his dad before re-entering. Chavo sucks. Chavo sucks. Which one?
Ooh.
Both. Big slap to the face by Chavo, but Rey responds with a series of right hands. Whip reversal into the corner, but Rey gets the boot up on a charge and leaps off the second rope to hit a head scissor variant takedown. Very nice.
Yes.
Duck of a clothesline and a wheelbarrow roll pin gets Mysterio a 2 count. Whip reversal sees Chavo elevate Rey into the air and drop him with a flapjack. Should have said, Holly, what's this move
You
called? But
should.
I've done it now. Snapmare and a basement dropkick from Chavo gets a 2 count. Body slam by Chavo, who taunts the crowd before delivering a second big body slam for a near fall. Seated abdominal stretch with an arm lock applied for good measure. This is the point in the match where I'd like to say, Holly, this isn't what you thought it was going to be, was it?
No.
So Mysterio's trying.
Yes.
He's done a couple
He's trying
bits.
to give me what I'm asking for, but it's not allowed.
Bill Goldberg's number? Is that what he's trying to give you?
Girl can dream.
But Chavo, to be fair, is playing the heel cruiserweight well, because if you're the heel cruiserweight and you're doing all this flipping, flying
It
stuff,
doesn't. No, it
not
doesn't
always.
work,
I mean,
no.
it can do, but no.
Yep.
So I get it. Back on their feet, and Ray lands on his feet from an attempted back suplex before getting reversed with a go-behind waistlock. With a hold of the ropes, Ray elbows free and springs off the bottom rope for a sunset flip. He eventually gets Chavo over and lures him into charging, grabs his leg and drops him neck first across the middle rope. I like that setup.
Yeah.
619 attempt lands, which confuses me.
Yeah.
And Cole says, we could be moments away from seeing Chavo Guerrero retain the Cruiserweight title. Good effort, Michael.
So silly.
But yeah, so you thought, oh, he's hit it.
Well, I thought, oh, that's it then. Surely.
Well, apparently not.
No.
As Ray looks to spring to the top rope, Chavo Classic pulls him down to the floor by the ankle.
Shocking.
Here he comes. Here comes Tintin.
Stop. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I said that.
Enter Jorge Paez, who winds up the right only to deliver a left hook that knocks Classic onto his arse.
Your notes are so much better than mine. Mine just goes, the guy with the tufty hair punches the old man.
Not wrong. Not wrong. Ref has seen enough of the former featherweight champion and ejects him from ringside. He can blame the punch, but I blame the suit.
Oh, I blame his hair.
And he now heads backstage where he joins two men with surgically repaired necks in Hardcore Holly and Rhino. Chavo goes to the outside to check on the well-being of his father and is easy prey for a springboard crossbody from Mysterio. Holly's getting happier.
Yeah.
Ray rolls Chavo into the ring and lands a springboard leg drop, although it looks like he lost his balance for a sec. Mm-hmm. And he gets the 1, 2, no. Chavo begins begging off, but Mysterio lands a drop kick and strikes away in the corner. Whip reversal, but Ray slams on the brakes and trips the leg, causing Chavo to crash face first into the buckles before a schoolboy roll-up gets a near fall.
Yay.
Whip sends Chavo into the buckles, but it's his turn to get the boot up. He looks to secure a tornado DDT, but Ray fights back. Mysterio joins Chavo up top, but Guerrero fires elbows off and lifts him in the air to deliver a super gutbuster, which looks horrible for all involved.
Yeah,
Chavo's landing's worse, because you've got to land...
I thought he popped his knee out,
Yep.
I'll be honest.
Yep, and then the way Ray lands, he looks like he holds his knee as well. And Ray has a lot of knee problems. But that was brutal.
Not broken his neck?
No, there's no broken neck. That was in the match earlier. God, keep up, Holly, for God's sake. So yeah, that looks horrendous. Chavo has his bullseye now as he strikes away at the ribs with punches and kicks before choking the champion over the middle rope. Small package by Chavo gets a 2 count. Abdominal stretch locked in by the challenger and the crowd clap in support of Mysterio. Chavo tries to reach beyond his grasp as he pulls at the mask once more, causing the ref to start a count. When he lets go, Ray fires back and elbows and counters a back suplex, landing crossbody and a pin for a near fall. Kick by Mysterio, but he has his legs pulled out from underneath him and Chavo applies a high-angled single-legged crab. Looks very, very nasty. Good though.
Yeah.
Ray kicks free but cannot capitalise, allowing Chavo to retain control. The challenger is stomping away before looking to pin Mysterio's shoulders to the canvas, but Ray keeps popping them off. Chavo throws his weight onto Mysterio as he bridges, and on the second attempt, Ray puts his feet up and uses the momentum to bound onto Chavo's shoulders before completing a sunset flip for a count of 2. Very nice.
Yeah.
You look confused.
I've lost completely where I am in my notes.
Off the ropes, and Chavo scores with a tilt-a-whirl gutbuster for a close 2 count. But I'm waiting to see a nod out the corner of my eye.
Yeah, it'll happen at some point.
Back to the seated abdominal stretch, and Ray again kicks free of both this and the single-legged crab attempt twice. The latter being a wheelbarrow bulldog for a count of 2.
Yep,
She's
I'm
back.
I'm in.
Whip reversal into a brutal knee to the gut gets Chavo a 2 count. Chavo looks as though he's attempting an F5, but Mysterio lands on his feet and connects with a spinning heel kick to the face. Both men are down. Corner whip reversal sees Mysterio use the buckles to get a head scissors that sends Chavo shoulders first into the ring post.
A drink.
She knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Both men are down again. When they reach their feet, they begin exchanging strikes until Chavo whips Mysterio into the ropes. Wait, what?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Ray counters on the return with what is effectively a skull-crushing finale, and this gets the 1, 2, no. Ray holds onto the ropes, off a whip, and gets the boot up as Chavo charges. Mysterio slides between his legs and kicks him hard in the chest, sending Guerrero to the apron. Ray joins him and jumps to connect with the DDT. Mysterio rolls him further into the ring, and we get the 1, 2, no, Again, Chavo kicks out. What have you got?
My top note on that one.
God, come on.
I was just getting irritated by this point, clearly.
Brilliant. Mysterio goes to fly with a springboard crossbody, but Chavo ducks and connects with a sit-out front suplex that gets a near fall. Face first into the buckles goes Mysterio, and Chavo follows up by sitting him up top. Guerrero is clawing at the mask but is elbowed down to the canvas, and the champion takes flight with a moonsault that Chavo has to basically run forward to make sure it lands.
Yeah.
1, 2, no. Chavo gets his foot on the bottom ropes and I'm getting emotional, losing my breath. Chavo looks to emulate his grandfather with a gory special. That he then forces Ray face first off the canvas on the release. Drop cover, but still only 2. Mysterio slips out of a body slam and finds himself Hurricane Ronald into a second rope. No, Mysterio slips out of the body slam and finds himself Hurricane Ronald onto the second rope. No, that can't be right. Chavo goes into the second rope. Yeah. Second 619 of the match lands, and so does the West Coast pop. But no, Chavo rolls through with a single-legged crab locked in. Great counter.
Yeah.
Finally, Ray makes it to the ropes, but Chavo doesn't break the hold and drags him away. However, the ref makes him break his grip. On the apron, Ray lands a shoulder and kicks Chavo away before climbing to the top rope, where Chavo Classic springs to life and shoves Ray across the ropes, allowing his son to secure a schoolboy pin with the hook of the tights for the 1, 2, 3. Chavo Guerrero is the new Cruiserweight champion. Holly, what do you think of the match?
Ultimately, I liked it. It was by far the best match I've seen thus far.
Comfortably.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a little bored.
Right.
Towards the end.
Okay.
Because for me, it ended up just being move, pin, move, pin, move, pin.
That's my notes. Yeah.
But so it did get a little repetitive for me, but I actually liked it. I thought it was alright, fine. I scored it highly because everything else has been shit. But I mean, it gave it a 3. So
Dave, 3.25. I agree with 3.
Okay.
I think it was easily the best match of the night so far. No one's even come close up to this point.
Start the pay-per-view here. Have it be 45 minutes long.
Yeah, I mean that's less than half an episode of SmackDown, but still, I take your point. Yeah. It's not been a great show. It's been interesting, but not a great show.
But it makes the next couple of matches seem far better than they are.
Doesn't it? Just. Yes. We see more gloomy scenes of the local area. I'm going to read this word for her because this is so dumb. We see more gloomy scenes of the local area of the area. Ooh. This time, streetcars going up a hill before we go backstage to the new Cruiserweight champion. After celebrating with his old man and going to walk off, Josh Matthews asks for a few words. I still cannot get over what Josh is wearing and his general appearance. Absolutely nutty. Josh asks for Chavo's thoughts, and he says he did all his talking out in the ring by beating Ray and becoming the new Cruiserweight champion. Conveniently, they're positioned right outside Eddie's locker room, and Chavo is sure to point out that he is not championship Materio. Ray Materio.
Oh.
Championship material, and calls him a loser and an addict. Chavo completely loses his way on the promo and begins rambling with little conviction, and it actually feels to me quite awkward. Yes. It's really uncomfortable for some reason. It's just not good at all. From here, we're shown the tail of the tape for the upcoming triple threat match for the number 1 contender spot, and moments later, we see the imposing, largest athlete in the world, the Big Show, readying himself for the contest.
Very good.
The match.
Yes.
Co-main event time. Kurt Angle, friend of the show, versus Big Show versus the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena, the number 1 contendership for the WWE title. Holly, were you looking forward to this one?
Yes and no. Take Big Show out of it, and yes.
Fine. Who was your money on to win this prior to seeing what happened?
Even now, I can't remember for the life of me.
Who won? Holy shit, that's amazing. Okay, who do you think is going to win, Holly?
My memory is so bad.
Who do you think is going to win?
So bad, but for me, I mean, I would always want John Cena to win.
Okay, so you think John Cena wins?
But I don't even remember. This is so bad.
I know.
Oh my god.
I know.
Yeah, sure, let's go with it. Fine.
How hard did you hit your face off the floor this morning?
I'll be honest, it's making me a little concerned.
When did you watch this as well? It was like 3 days ago?
Yeah.
That's fine. It's fine.
Jesus.
Making his way out first is friend of the show, Kurt Angle, who's wearing what I have to describe as a great singlet.
Isn't it?
Really good.
Broke his neck.
He did break his neck. Do you know who also broke his neck?
No.
Is that bit done yet?
No.
We're not done with that.
This is going to keep going forever.
Hardcore Holly broke his neck.
Stop. That's a nice bit of ASMR then.
Thank you.
Wow.
So Kurt Angle's great singlet. Rhino broke his neck. When the pyro goes off for Big Show, Taz makes a noise like a man who's just been trod on by the Big Show. He goes, "Ah!"
How did it make you feel
Oh,
that he came out second and he's the champ?
because it's not up for grabs. I don't care.
And also, did they make this title belt comedically small
No,
on purpose?
This was all joking aside. This was the point where Big Show was eating. Like they were trying to make him lose weight. They even sent him down to developmental to try and get him to lose weight because he was just packing it on.
Because it looks comedically small.
No, that is just the size of it.
Oh, God.
Big Show was just getting him that food.
Big boy.
He was going for the, was it Golden Corral? Is that where they do like the buffet
I don't know.
stuff in America?
Sure.
He was doing his King Kong Bundy moo
Okay.
moo session at this point. But he's in good shape now. Very good shape now.
Yeah.
Big Show is so large at this point that he barely squeezes between the structure at the entryway to make his way down to ringside. Holly, it is Duck. It's not Duck. Holly, it is Doctor of Thugonomics time, and as expected, he comes out with microphone in hand to say "yo" about 243 times. Got a quote here.
Oh, okay. Me too.
Kurt thinks I hit him with a chair. This fool is out of his mind. I'm not the guy that's going to hit another dude from behind. I'm not your right hand, Kurt. There's no way that I could whack you. If I've got beef, I would come up to your freaking face and smack you. You want to know who knocked you out? Here's a really big clue. He's 500 pounds, he smells like crap, and he's standing right next to you. Let's throw this whale back into the bay so he can sleep with the fishes. This isn't a three-way dance. This is me serving two bitches. No Way Out is my house. Check the chain and the lock. These people hang from my words. You two can swing from my... What?
Nice.
That's where it finishes.
Clock?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was what John Cena came out and had to say.
I like it.
Yep.
I always have. Always will.
Cena makes his way to the ring, but Show signals him to stop on the apron as he wants Angle to himself. Cena rests in the corner as Show and Angle lock up. The gold medalist is then hip-tossed across the ring with ease. Cena is enjoying this as Angle is shoved away and charges back into a body slam. Angle sees Cena mocking him and offers him to go against Show, which he does, and he finds himself pulled onto his face on the canvas, which Angle very much enjoys.
Before I forget, I've got a little note here.
Go for it.
Big Show is only 5 years older than John Cena.
That's crazy.
So here, Big Show was 32.
Stone?
Honestly, he looks like he's about 45.
Yeah.
Progressively, thankfully, has started to look younger now.
He's doing the Hogan.
Isn't it?
He's doing the
Aging in
Hogan.
reverse.
Yep.
But I was just like, shit, he's only 5 years older than Cena.
Yep.
Jesus.
How did you find these opening interactions of Angle having a go, then going to Cena? No, you have a go then.
I thought it was quite amusing, actually.
And as Cena smashes his face off the floor, the cameras go into Kurt Angle's face, just enough so you can see him say, "You son of a bitch, how did that feel?" Mm-hmm. Cena charges into a kick to the gut and finds his head slammed backwards against the canvas. Angle continues to mock Cena, who shoves him in the chest, and Kurt unloads with right hands. Angle shouts, "Punch me," which Cena happily obliges with because he's missed his cue there. Mm-hmm. And it's Big Show's turn to watch. Whipsy, well, you went to a voyeur thing there, didn't you? Of course you did. Whipsy's Angle catch Cena and throw him overhead with a lovely belly-to-belly. He hooks the leg, but the pin is broken by Show. Clubbing blow to the back of Kurt, and Show sent him flying into Cena, knocking him off the apron and revealing the injured knee. Huge overhand slap to the chest of Kurt in the corner, but he begins firing back with right hands until he runs into a sidewalk slam. Hook of the leg, but Cena breaks up the pin. Cena now fires off rights at Show, but one big headbutt has him swinging at Shadows. Huge clubbing blow to the back and a big body slam puts Cena on the canvas. Second headbutt drops the master of Thugonomics, I've put in quotations here, and we get a second big body slam. Even bigger leg drop from Show lands and connects, and then he connects with a second. He strolls too close to the edge of this sentence is it's so bad. He strolls too close to the edge of the ring. What I mean is he strolls too close to the edge of the ring. However, as Angle grabs him by the leg. With Angle struggling to achieve something, Show grabs him by the neck and strides over the ropes on the apron to join him before swatting a charging Cena away. Kurt shifts position and is looking to German suplex Show to the floor. That would be dangerous. Cena charges again and is this time grabbed by the neck and shoved into the ref, allowing Angle to drop to the floor and deliver a big blow to the Giant. And the big blow was definitely low. Kurt drags Cena out of the ring and drives him face first into the steel stairs. Back in the ring, an Angle hooks the leg for a near fall. A number of right hands in the corner and a kick for good measure from Angle, who follows up with a chop across the chest against the ropes. Whip reversal allows Cena to drop Angle with a back elbow and continues his momentum with a spinning back suplex. Drop kick to the leg of Big Show knocks him off the apron and he scrambles back for a cover on Kurt that gets him a 2 count. That's clever. Keep the Giant away. He's not going to get there in time to break it up. Yep. Angle ducks a clothesline and sends Cena flying with a beautiful German suplex. The hands stay locked for the second and third, with the pinfall needing to be broken by the returning Show. Show launches Angle very hard, shoulder first into the ring post, before removing both nipples clean off his chest with one monstrous overhand slap. Cena thinks that moment was whack, but he got hit so hard his tits are now on his back. Word life.
Very good.
Thank you. I want you to read how I put that here.
Oh God.
So it's the top line onwards. Just have a little look at that.
The top line onwards.
So yeah. I put it there so I know to do it like that. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well done.
There you go. Thank you. Not bad. Not quite as good as my big Valboski play with Val Venus that time. I thought that was probably my highlight. Yes. Huge hip toss follows as Cole says that if that's what the fans want to feel, to grab a skillet from the kitchen and hit themselves in the chest with it. Michael, do not try this at home. Kids, go get some cutlery out there and just stab yourself in the head with it. Do a Sandman impression. Show now uses his ample weight to stand on the side of the injured knee of Cena and easily quashes a fight back with one swat. He walks over the back of Cena and even the crowd groan for that one. Another huge overhand chop lands and Cena musters what little he can to charge at Show but is soon put back down. Very nice vertical suplex from Show gets a near fall. Cena gets whipped into the buckles and you can see the red hand mark on his chest. Oh, that's a great typo. Instead of Show, I've got Chow. As in like chow down. Okay. That's amazing. The Big Chow.
Nice.
There it is.
Nice.
The Big Chow.
The Big Chow.
That's a shirt. Show charges, but Cena drop kicks the knee, causing the big man to faceplant the buckles. A second one knocks him off his feet, and Cena heads to the top rope to land an elbow to the top of the head.
However, before that, he did do my favourite. He pumped up his trainers.
Oh, he did pump up the trainers. I missed the first pump up.
He pumped them up.
It's the first time he's pumped up on one of our shows. Oh, dear, and I've missed it.
Yeah.
Devastated.
I know.
From the opposite corner, Angle takes flight and connects with a missile dropkick, hooks the leg and nearly gets a 3 were it not for Cena. Kurt finds himself tossed to the outside as Cena is now signalling he wants to hit the FU on Show, or Chow, which he impressively lands. Angle is back in and is looking for an Olympic slam, but Cena slips out the back. And it's not easy, this, by the way. It's not easy. I certainly don't make it easy, that's for sure. But Cena slips out the back and connects with a DDT. Cena rolls the Big Chow over and makes the cover, but the big man is too close to the ropes and manages to get his foot underneath, although there's a brief bit of panic where he can't get his foot on the rope, so he just puts it under. Yeah. Angle sees a Cena charge coming and low bridges, sending him over the top to the floor. Now Kurt is stalking Big Show and delivers an Olympic slam to get the 1, 2, no. Big Show kicks out. Down comes the straps. Your boy means business. Angle means business, but Cena scoops him onto his shoulders. Kurt fights the position and slips out, grabbing the ankle lock. Things look bleak for Cena until Show grabs Angle by the neck and delivers a chokeslam. Before he can capitalise, Cena gets a schoolboy pin, but Show kicks out and chokeslams him as a receipt. He makes the cover, but no, Angle has him in the ankle lock, causing the Giant to roar in pain, and that is a weird noise.
Did you ever used to watch, I was on Channel 4, and it was like Harry and the Hendersons or something?
Yes.
That noise is what that reminded me of.
It's like, for any Star Wars fans out there, it's like a Wookiee in macing season.
Sure.
The big hairy thing that was with Harrison Ford.
Okay, I've not seen it, but
You must,
I
yeah,
know
but you know
what
the
that
noise,
looks like.
don't you, as well?
Yeah.
You know
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it does sound very much like Harry and the Hendersons. So he's the Big Chow, and he's Harry and the Hendersons. Big Show's not having a good show with us today.
No.
Show tries to grab the referee to break the hold, but eventually manages to roll and shove Angle off his ankle with his boot. Cena connects with a spine buster to Kurt and lands a 5-knuckle souffle. Cena scoops Angle onto his shoulders, but before he can land the FU, a prone Big Show clubs him in the back of the knee, causing him to collapse. That worries me, because it's a bit clumsy. Show scoops Cena up and viciously body slams him into the buckles, which is nice actually, before Kurt unwisely tries to German suplex him one more time. One elbow is all it takes for the attempt to be broken, but Kurt manages to hit an Olympic slam that sends Show over the top rope and off the apron to the floor.
Yes.
Nice.
Very nice.
Violent chop block by Angle on Cena, and the ankle lock is now applied. With nowhere to go, and something that would become a real rarity, John Cena taps in submission.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle is the winner and is the number one contender going into WrestleMania. Holly, having seen the match, predicted the wrong winner. Holly, thoughts on the match, please?
I really enjoyed it.
I did.
I really enjoyed it. And I don't know if it's obviously because maybe the other matches haven't been so good.
I think that plays into it.
But I think also because when I obviously saw it was Big Show, I was like, oh, God, it's going to be rubbish. But actually having Angle and Cena there too gave me what I needed.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I enjoyed it. 3.5.
My score, 3.5.
Yeah.
Dave's score, 3.
Fine.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're all relatively on the same page on that one.
Yeah, liked it.
And what was our match before? So what did I give? Oh, so that's my highest rated match of the night.
Yeah.
So it goes cruiserweight title, this being number 1. Let's see how the main event fares.
Let's.
As we see Angle celebrate before heading backstage with a heaving, sweaty Giant close behind, Cena is noticeably still in the ring in pain. Little is made of this when we head to commentary, who are already hyping up the main event of the evening, and they discuss the tale of the tape. A video package plays from SmackDown 2 weeks ago where there was a Royal Rumble to declare the challenger for the WWE title at No Way Out. Don't want to see a Royal Rumble outside of Royal Rumble, as much as I love it. After Rikishi was eliminated, it came down to Eddie and Kurt, with Eddie ultimately leaving victorious. We see back and forth promo work between champion and challenger, and Brock has another good line of, "You're not fighting the odds, Eddie, you're fighting me." I like that as well.
Yeah,
Arguably Eddie's greatest promo now, talking about his redemption and what he's had to overcome to get to this point. It's a passionate promo, and Eddie, historically, like up until around this time, I don't think his promos were ever the best.
Right.
He had some good ones as Latino Heat,
Yeah.
but when he got to this era, he started to really hit his stride.
Such a shame, isn't it?
It is, given like what happens in 18 months' time from now. Real shame. Holly,
Hello.
what were you expecting out of this match?
Not
A
a
squash
lot.
match.
Yeah, and I think for me as well, also they do the come on, brain, where are you? Like the image of the table that compares them, right? So it had Brock standing at 6'4" and Eddie at 5'9". Now in my head, I thought I don't remember him being that. Not that that's small, but a smaller stature. I thought he was easily a bit taller than that. And then it also had the weight comparison. So it had Brock at 295 pounds, which is 21 stone. I did Google. And Eddie at 220, which is 15.
Mm-hmm.
And that, for me, made me just go, oh, okay. But then I looked at how long the show had left. I was like, something's going to happen there.
It's weird, though, to see how someone can carry the weight differently, because I would be marginally heavier than Eddie.
Right.
But I've also got 3 inches on him, but he's also, well, you could see by his back exactly what he's been doing to get to that physique. But he carries it oddly, doesn't he? Because his legs are quite thin as well.
Yeah.
But it's, I remember at the time thinking, Oh, it'd be great if Eddie won. He won't win.
No, there was no part of my brain that would have entertained it, I'll be honest.
And it was interesting to see because it was around this time of the year where it became known that Brock Lesnar was leaving after Mania.
Oh, okay.
And not only was Brock Lesnar leaving after Mania, Goldberg was going to be leaving after WrestleMania. And they thought, well, how are they going to do that? They can't have those two go against each other for the title.
Oh, if they're both
leaving.
going. Right. Okay.
So I think there was an expectation that Eddie might get the job done.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Main event. It's main event time, Holly.
It's main event time.
Brock Lesnar versus Eddie Guerrero for the WWE title.
Yep.
Brock in peak form for this night. Absolute specimen of a human being.
Absolute beast, everyone.
But then, Holly, we get the lowrider entrance of the challenger, Eddie Guerrero.
It did confuse me why Brock came up first, and then when I realised the entrance, I was like, oh,
do you know what's funny?
Sense.
Because I'd already seen Brock that night, it didn't faze me that he came out first for some reason.
Fair.
Maybe that's weird. That's an exception.
Oh.
The fans couldn't be more clearly behind Eddie, and they were immediately chanting his name at a deafening level.
Yeah.
He's loving it, and why the hell not, to be quite frank. The bell sounds, and another Eddie chant starts up as the two men circle. Brock screams, "You ain't nothing!" at Eddie, which causes him to charge, and they lock up for the first time. Lesnar is far too strong and overpowers Eddie into the corner before screaming the same statement at him once again. Eddie runs back out, and this lock-up results with him being tossed to the canvas. Guerrero screams, "Let's get high, Holmes!" Okay. Let's not, Eddie.
Okay.
As he locks up for a third time, and he's shoved back before being clotheslined into the corner. Torrent of boots by the champion, and Brock chokes Eddie with his boot. Corner whip and big back body drop, and Brock is already clearly in control. Mm-hmm. I assume this is just kind of going to what you thought was going to happen and conform. Sure. Did you think we'd get any high-flying stuff that maybe you'd see more in the cruiserweight from Eddie?
I did hope. But also my brain was like, logically...
He's also a big guy, the way he carries himself as well.
Yeah, I just don't know. My brain just didn't... My brain literally just went, it's obviously clearly going to last for a little while. It's going to be, Brock's going to be in control, then it'll switch, then it'll go back to Brock, then we're done.
Yeah, pretty much. Corner whip and big back body drop, and Brock is already in control. Suplex sends Eddie across the ring, and Lesnar shouts at Eddie that he has nothing for a fourth time. Right hands from Guerrero, but Lesnar cuts him off with knees to the midsection. Corner whip, but Eddie elbows Lesnar on the following charge and uncorks more punches before being cut off once again with a knee. Corner whip, and this time Guerrero gets the boots up before leaping and looking for a Hurricane Rana. Lesnar just about catches him, shakes his head. I don't think he's got the position to pull him all the way back up. Spins him around and throws him to one side. Do you know what? I'm absolutely fine with that.
I quite liked it.
Because I think he was supposed to catch him, pick him up, powerbomb him.
But it makes it a bit more, I guess, believable is the only word I can think of. But realistic, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not always perfect.
Big belly-to-belly suplex sends Eddie flying. The second sends him even further. Mm-hmm. Knee to the gut, and Guerrero is in the corner. A strong corner whip, and Brock lands a flying knee against the buckles, which surprised me.
Yes.
I assume it surprised you as well, based on your facial reaction just then. Impressive vertical from the big man. Mm. The crowd was surprised by that one as well, based on their reaction. So everyone in general was surprised. I hope Eddie wasn't, because that would have been a nasty little thing to kind of... But I assume not, based on what we see later on. Lesnar is taking his time, enjoying this one, but Eddie begins firing back, only to be cut off with a knee to the gut. That's the constant counter that he gets, the knee to the gut every time. Third overhead belly-to-belly suplex sends Eddie all the way to the floor following impact. Eventually, Guerrero makes it back into the ring, but Brock immediately kicks him back out and knees him off the apron on the second attempt. Eddie wisens up. It's like bullying tactics. Yeah. It's good, though. It's good. Eddie wisens up on the third attempt and drives a shoulder into the ribs before guillotining him over the top rope. Nice. The challenger drags Brock to the corner by the leg, which the champion is fighting every inch of the way. However, Eddie will not be stopped, and he wraps Lesnar's knee around the ring post twice.
Drink twice.
He gets greedy, though, and on the third attempt, Brock pulls him shoulder first into the same post.
Drink again, but I liked that.
Yes, it was good. Back in the ring, Lesnar hits a super delayed Fisherman Buster for the 1, 2, no.
I even wrote that down.
You put Fisherman Buster?
Yeah.
They said it.
I know. I'm not going to know it otherwise, am I?
I don't know, you surprise me sometimes. Like an anaconda, Lesnar wraps Eddie up with a sleeper come reverse chin lock. I was expecting to get a, Holly, can you do the honours? We don't get one on the show.
Don't.
Eddie throws a few elbows, causing Brock to reposition on his feet until he eventually has to let go after a jawbreaker. His head was slightly to the side. Guerrero hits the ropes but gets powered high into the air with a press. He struggles, slips down, drop-kicking the leg of the champion. He hits the ropes a second time but runs right into a wicked clothesline from Lesnar that sends sweat flying upon impact, and they even highlight that with a replay, don't they?
Looks good though.
It does. After a moment where both men look to gather their senses, they begin trading weakened blows until Brock throws Eddie with a German suplex. Measured kicks to the midsection by the champion, who now drives his shoulder into the back of Guerrero. Face first into the buckles and now shoulders to the midsection. Lesnar takes him and flies. And tries looking for another high knee. Oh, no, and he does fly.
Yeah.
He goes flying looking for another high knee, but this time Eddie ducks and Brock crashes into the buckles before crashing all the way down to the floor.
That looked good.
It did.
As in, it looked like
Controlled
it made me
chaos.
Go, ooh, but it looked good.
Yeah, I don't think Brock was ever not in control, but it made me go, oh shit, oh, he's okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Wasting little time, Eddie slingshots himself over the ropes to land a crossbody, and both men are down on the floor.
Nice.
Yep. Champion and challenger barely make the count, but they do, and Eddie is working over the knee with a drop kick and well-placed kicks. Missed clothesline from Brock allows Eddie to score with a back suplex, lifting Brock up.
Yeah.
Guerrero is overzealous though and walks into a stun gun over the top rope. Both men are down once more. Delayed cover from Brock only gets a 2 count. Lesnar resumes screaming at Eddie that he is nothing. As he does so, Eddie secures a heel hook before transitioning into an STF, and the crowd are going wild, wanting Lesnar to quit.
Yep.
Brock uses his strength to manage and break the grip, but Eddie is relentless, stomping away on the knee after driving it into the canvas. Guerrero looks to apply a figure 4 leg lock, but is kicked off not once but twice. The third attempt ends no differently. When the champion does return to his feet, he claps his hands and sends the challenger... When the champion does return to his feet, he claps his hands and sends the challenger flying with another overhead belly-to-belly suplex. So when I say clap, he does it behind him, throws him.
Yeah.
There was one suplex as well, by the way.
Okay.
I think I've already gone past it, where he grabs him for a German suplex and like he's too slippy and he nearly doesn't throw him, but he's just raw strength enough to get him up and still toss him, because there's a bit where he like doesn't have the grip right, and I was like, holy shit, and he still threw him. I was like, it's just... Because I always consider myself to be like quite a heavy guy. Right. So the idea of someone being able to literally pick me up and do something like that, to me, I can't fathom it.
Right, okay.
But he obviously could, because he did a dead weight Eddie Guerrero. Like, it's mad. It's absolutely mad.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? Oh, here we go. Brock uses his strength as that. Guerrero looks to apply a figure 4 leg lock, but is kicked off not once but twice. The third attempt ends no differently. When the champion does return to his feet... Oh, no, we've done that. Referee Brian Hebner begins the count until both men make it to their feet. Don't forget who the referee is. Vertical suplex is countered as Eddie slips out the back and hits the ropes, where he connects with a tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Very nice.
Yep.
Drop kick back to the knee, and this time Eddie does apply a rough figure 4 leg lock. It's not great, I'll be honest. As the fans chant, "You tapped out" to Lesnar, I can't help but notice the back acne on Eddie. A clear sign of steroid usage. It's obscene, the amount of it. I've never seen back knee quite like that. Apart from Gene Snitsky, I remember had it once quite badly, but this was really bad. Lesnar does manage to make it to the bottom rope, which breaks the hold. Back on his feet, he's swiftly kicked to the knee and brought back down, where Eddie applies a version of a Texas cloverleaf before returning to an STF. Brock, being the animal that he is, powers out of the hold. Eddie is too slow with the right hand, and Brock sends him skybound with a German suplex. Guerrero hits the ropes and runs right into a beautiful spinebuster. Like, it's horrendous. Like, Brock's trying to throw him through the canvas.
It looks so good.
Yeah. Hook of the leg and a 1, 2, no. Eddie is still breathing. Second cover gets the same result. Back on the canvas, Brock has locked a modified crossface in with a body scissors applied before moving into a sleeper hold. This, again, is where I was expecting you to get involved. Not needed on this one.
No, I know.
Eddie tries to fight free, but Brock still has the hold locked as they make their way back to their feet. Using misdirection, Eddie falls, sending Brock face first into the middle turnbuckle, which I thought was clever.
Yeah.
The challenger goes up top but misses with a missile dropkick. Brock hit the buckles hard as blood trickles out of his nose, but that does. I thought he hit it quite hard, to be fair, and then you actually see him swab at his nose. But that doesn't stop him hitting a one-legged vertical suplex.
Delightful.
Die, Eddie! Just die! Give it 18 months. Brock grabs Eddie around the waist as he looks to squeeze the life from his body. As Guerrero fights his way back to his feet, Brock hits a gut-wrench suplex from the same position. Now he is gator rolling, looking for pins, like rolling round. That's an amateur wrestling thing. But Eddie gets his shoulder up each time. Back on the canvas, and Lesnar is just squeezing as much as he can. Guerrero will not die as he makes it back to his knees. He's looking for the support from the crowd as he makes his way back to his feet, and he starts doing a little bit of the
shimmy.
Latino heat slightly, which I thought was just about okay. Yeah. And he manages to headbutt his way free. 2 more follow, and Brock falters. A 4th follows, and now the challenger lands with a drop kick to the knee and 1 to the face. Satellite head scissors lands, but Brock hits a knee to the gut as he gets back to his vertical base. Brock misses a corner charge, and now we get vintage Eddie Guerrero as he hits the 3 Amigos. Eddie is feeling it as he makes his way to the top rope, takes flight with a frog splash, but no water in the pond for the froggy one. Now, Holly, would this be a Hebner-officiated match if we didn't see the ref take a bump? Brock scoops Eddie up, connects with the F5, but the legs of Guerrero struck the official in the face, and somewhere I can hear Earl saying, "That's my boy."
Yeah.
Brock hooks the leg, but there is no ref. He heads to the outside and retrieves the WWE title. The crowd erupts. Holly erupts. Goldberg is in the ring and spears the champion in 2 ways.
I was quite happy, I'll be honest.
I bet you were. Brock is down. Eddie is down. The referee is down. The crowd is roaring, "Eddie, Eddie, Eddie." Guerrero crawls into the cover and we get a slow 1, 2, no. The crowd scream in disbelief as Brock kicks out. Eddie now has the title in his hand. He's measuring a groggy champion who turns and manages to duck the strike. He lifts Eddie to deliver an F5, but no, Guerrero counters and hits a DDT just about on the championship gold. Eddie looks to remove the evidence and throws the title, which amusingly bounces off the bottom rope and right back into his lap before the second sends it to the floor. Guerrero goes up top. Frog splash connects. 1, 2, 3. Eddie Guerrero is the new WWE champion. What a moment. The crowd explode and Eddie jumps into the fans to celebrate, having to be pulled back by the security guards. Guerrero doesn't know what to do with himself as he's handed the title and celebrates on the steel stairs. Eddie rushes to his mother, who's crying, and his brother in the front row to hug them. The new champion stands on the announce table as he raises the title in the air, and that is a look of pure, unadulterated joy. Eddie got his fix. Eddie is the WWE champion.
Yeah.
With Eddie on his knees holding the title above his head and Michael Cole losing his voice screaming, the show comes to an end. What do you think of the match?
I really enjoyed it. I really did. And I didn't think I would.
Yeah.
Not like I don't know, maybe that's a bit too harsh, but I thought it would just be a squash match, like I said. So for it not to be, I actually enjoyed it. And actually it was believable.
Yeah, it was. I thought so too.
I talk about how some matches I just don't enjoy because I don't think they're believable. And on paper, this one to me wasn't.
Yep.
But actually when you watch it, I was like, yeah, not mad at it. Not mad at all.
Would you score it?
I gave it 4 out of 5.
Okay, interesting.
Oh. Why?
You're back on score with your mate Dave. 4 stars. Nice. I actually give it 4.25. Okay. I give it slightly higher just because it was, I've said it earlier, to me it was one of the all-time wrestling moments, as a fan. Okay. It was just so nice to see him achieve that. And this is kind of what I touched upon earlier with Tiffany Stratton, which is why I mentioned it. Yeah. She didn't have that emotion.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Whereas Eddie was like, this is my life's work.
Tell it
here.
Meant something.
And yeah, he died far too young.
Absolutely.
But he got that moment. He had that thing to say, I did that, which was nice. Yeah. And I thought Brock played his part brilliantly. The Goldberg interference was quick enough that it didn't bother me.
Yes, and normally we know I'm not a big fan of outside interference, but because it was just one thing, it was all right. I know it's Goldberg, so it's fine.
Yeah, of course. And Eddie is the new WWE champion. Nice. What did you think of the show overall? I feel like it was a show of two parts.
The shit part and the decent part.
That's the one. Yep.
Do you know what? I rated it bang in the middle, because for me it was utter dross mixed with decent.
Yeah, I think
even the decent wasn't amazing. It just felt amazing compared to the other shite.
I think we had 3 good matches, and
Yes.
the rest we could have done without.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Absolutely.
So you 5 out of 10?
I gave it 5.5.
Okay.
I did say I enjoyed most of it. I think some other shows that I maybe have given a 5 to, I've been like, oh, there was one thing that I enjoyed. Yeah. But this one was just, the bad was so bad that in perspective, apart from maybe the last match, the others were all right.
I think the triple threat match was good. I think the cruiserweight was helped by the fact that the others were crap.
Yeah.
But I actually think the triple threat match was good.
So really, if I put that in perspective, there's only 2 real matches that were good.
Yep.
But so yeah, 5.5 out of 10.
I would give it slightly higher. I'd go 6 to 6.5, mainly because of that moment being so good. Because the rest of the show, like the first half, is absolute dross, as you said. But for me, it's a classic moment, and I wanted you to be able to experience that.
Yeah.
Apologies, I forgot how bad the first part of the show was. But at
We've
least it's now been ticked off the list. But we haven't yet quite got to the end of it, have we?
No.
Because we've got outfits of the night.
This was so hard. So hard.
Okay, so shall I shout out the ones that I think made the list?
Sure.
John Cena.
Yes.
Who else was on the show? Not Nydia.
No.
Not Jamie Noble.
No.
Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
Eddie.
No.
We get Eddie?
Yes, actually, yes.
Okay.
No, but his name is right there.
Goldberg.
No.
Oh, okay, fine.
No.
I respect that.
His outfit was, just training.
He came out with a hoodie and stuff like.
I mean, he looks delightful, but
he
looks nice, but there's nothing to it.
Okay, fair enough. Who else was on the card? The World's Greatest Tag Team.
No, actually.
Okay, Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Is that everyone?
I've only got one more.
Oh, you got one more. Okay, I'll give myself like another couple guesses, and if I don't get it, just smash on with it. I'm trying to think of the matches. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Who was the opener? It's not the Basham. Shaniqua?
No.
Scotty Too Hotty.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but it was slim pickings.
Okay, fair enough.
So, yeah, I put Scotty's trousers, the red, white and black. They gave me motocross vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Motocross.
Yeah.
No.
Why are you surprised? I know what motocross is.
Yeah, I know. It's just you say things like that and you surprise me.
Like the other day when we were talking about F1.
Yeah, and I was sort of listing off names
yeah.
from the 90s and you're like, yep.
Absolutely. The gold lame 619 pants on Ray with a matching mask. Nice. Angle, that unitard is brilliant. That's potentially for me the best one I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think he's got one better from SummerSlam 2002.
Okay.
Which was a match with Rey Mysterio.
Oh. Cena, the only man that I shall allow the jorts for, but also at this time.
Fine.
I don't want them now.
No.
I don't want
Jamie
them
Noble
now.
had jorts. You got 2 jorts.
No, yeah, no. And obviously he had his high tops, the pump, I freaking love that. Eddie's red tights, the detailing down the side, Latino on the butt, everything. It's kind of basic, but brilliant.
And we all like Latino on the butt, let's be fair.
It doesn't. So yeah, that was it.
So my guess,
Yep.
Kurt Angle.
No.
Really?
Yep.
So you said the best one he's ever worn and he doesn't get it?
Yep.
And yet he's won on other shows. That's mad.
Isn't it? There's no logic behind this. This is why
It's not
amusing.
Scotty. No, Eddie then.
No.
Who is it?
It's the master of thugonomics.
Ducks from Thugonomics. So you've gone with John Cena. All right.
It's so basic, but I think because it's the first
It's fine.
time.
Yeah.
The first time I've had him
With the sports
at
shirt,
this,
big chain.
I like it.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't.
Again,
I
slim
don't
pickings.
begrudge it. He would have been in my top 3 for the night, but I think I go Angle.
But yeah. That's
Okay.
it.
And after having not done one of these recordings for about a month, that pretty much brings us to the end of the show.
Absolutely.
We've already decided on the next one, and it
Yes,
won't be
we
using
have.
the network. And in fact, this one is actually available on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
I haven't sent you the link, but I'm assuming you'll be all right to find it yourself.
I think so.
I'm an hour into it so far, so
Very nice.
going strong. But yeah, hopefully you have all enjoyed the show. Have you enjoyed yourself, Holly?
I've had a lovely time.
And until the next one, take care, guys. Bye.
Until next time, this has been a Win Twice Wrestling production. Peace out.